Hello, everybody. Everybody, hello. Welcome to Tracy's Week in Review, the podcast that simply exists to take place of no football. And you know that if you watched the first episode, um, I'm glad to have you here. Don't know how long this show is going to go today, but we've got a couple things I want to get to. Um, it's going to be a different type of show. So, with that being said, I'm going to pay some bills here. Remember to subscribe to this channel. There are 358 subscribers to the channel. We are still trying to get to 1,000. I feel like I should have 10,000 by now, but help us to get subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. Subscribing is literally free. It costs you nothing. You can also get notified when I go live. But please, 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 please consider subscribing. You can support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 per month. That's 50 cents a week. That helps me to get better lighting, better equipment, and to just keep the general cost of running this channel up. So I would appreciate your support. Visit my official merchandise store. Right now it's just t-shirts, but hopefully we will be expanding to include drinkware, i.e. coffee mugs, tote bags, etc. But we're starting off with t-shirts. That money also goes back to help the channel. Follow us on Facebook. You can definitely go to Facebook by using this link, but if you can't remember it, our Facebook page, you just go to facebook.com and the search box, you type in TRACYMedia, that's TRACYMEDIA. You'll see a picture of my face come up. Hit that like button, because once we cross 70, we will be able to podcast live on YouTube. Something they StreamYard used to let me do, but now they're requiring 100 and I have 70. So if 30 of you could just go over there. Also, it's still my goal to podcast on Rumble. I need 5 followers. I'm looking for something here. Hold on. We need 5 followers on Rumble. So far, we have 4. So we just need one more person that will allow us to go live on Rumble. And I'm trying to see, have we hit our 5 yet? I'll be with y'all here in just a second. I'm sorry. I just got to see this because I've been advertising this Rumble thing for like a year, and it's been real slow to get 5 followers. All I need is 5. I want to be on the Rumble channel, so it gives me more of a reach. And I think it would be good for us to be on there. So I'm just kind of going here and I'm going to go to Rumble just to see how many followers we have. No. Why did that do that? No. Okay, so continue to follow us on Rumble. Blue Sky, you can follow me on Blue Sky at you go, I say Google search because that's the easiest way to do it. You just hit Google search, type in Blue Sky, and then once you hit Blue Sky, type in hi, it's me, Tracy, and that's HIITSMETRACY. That is who I am. And I don't know why I can't see these Rumble followers. This is really agitating. Why can't I see it? Why can't I see it? Okay, about time. Oh my goodness. Now it's taking me to Blue Sky. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I still got 4. So I need one more follower. Mark your calendars. And I finally got that S on there. Mark your calendars on Friday, May the 2nd, 2025 at 8 p.m. I'm sponsoring a channel fundraiser. Help us to raise $700. $600 will go towards I can't speak. $600 will go towards the StreamYard charges because they really increased. And then the other 100 will go towards getting our website back. So help us to raise $700. We're going to have a great time that day. And as always, help us to get 35 likes and 15 shares. And April is coming up. We passed our first first quarter. So we'll go up to like 50 likes and 30 shares. But so this is the last, because I don't come on Mondays anymore. It'll go up to 50 likes and 30 shares next month, which will be the 3rd, I think, but I don't know. Okay, guys, let me get started by first saying this. Yesterday show was a hot mess. There were so many technical difficulties yesterday. I've never had that happen. I've never had it just where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. So hopefully, please, things will go well tonight. I'm definitely going to talk about the bishop that ordered the church doors locked because I have some interesting thoughts about that. I'm definitely going to talk about Signalgate. And I'm definitely going to talk about something that Rude, by the way, or who I just called Tim, said yesterday that I didn't give a lot of thought to. But once I thought about it, I'm like, he has a really good point. So those are the 3 things I will kind of talk about today. So let's get started. YouTube does not allow me to show clips. Every other podcast in America gets to show clips and they just keep coming back and back and back with them. For some reason, when I share a clip, I get a strike. I already got 2 strikes and 3, you're out. So I'm not going to chance it. I'm going to not share a link. So I'm going to describe what happened. So I'm going to talk about, Bishop Gate. Bishop Marvin Sapp, who many of you don't know, is a gospel singer / bishop. And he was at some church. I don't even know the name of the church. And it was time offering. Now, if you've gone to church or any type of religious service, you know, at some point they're going to ask you to make a contribution. And remember to comment. Please comment because I'm definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts. So it comes to that portion of the time of service where they ask people to contribute. And he decides to tell the ushers to close the doors until he raises $40,000. And of course, we got the fire engines going off. Isn't that just great? Every time. That hasn't happened in a while. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. So he decides that he's going to demand 20. I guess it was like 1,000 people there, but the math threw me off, right? Because if 20 people, that's what was throwing me off. I was like, this math isn't mathing to me. So I guess there was like more than 1,000 people there. And he said, you know, if each of you gives $20, we can raise 40,000. And here comes the problem. I'm going to take 1,000. I'm just doing it times 20. Is that 40? See, that's 20. See, so it had to be like 2,000 people there, right? So he says, hey, if each of you gives $20, we'll get to our 40,000. Then he tells the ushers to lock the doors. fire hazard, kidnapping, shakedown. There's so many thoughts that I have about this, and they're all over the place. So I'm going to try to do my best because I see this from two different sides. One side, I definitely am like, look, as Christians, that's what I am. I know some of you are not, but I am. We can't afford to be doing stuff like this. People already don't like Christianity. They already got problems with Christianity, in essence, since the resurrection of Christ. So wait a minute. Before I get back to my point, how the two people joining and can't even honor a link to come in? See, this is what I'm talking about. Hello, see, it's definitely a shakedown. He also asked the people behind him to give. Yeah, I'm going to get to that part. He also asked the people behind him to give $100 a piece. Hit the like while you watch. Yes, please hit that like button. But so he tells the ushers again. I'm not going to go back over that story. So again, my point is people already don't, in general, look at Christianity sideways. Yes, you were. Absolutely, yes, you were. Look in your inbox. I think I did. Or was that yesterday's? People already have problems with Christianity, right? They already look at it side-eyed. They've been looking at it side-eyed since Christ's resurrection from the dead. It's always been that way. You have to know, as a Christian, people are going to look at you and expect certain behavior, right? You're expected to walk different, talk different, act different. You're expected to be different, right? And that's the standard. If I don't meet the standard of what I say I believe, then I really ought not be sitting here getting mad when people call me out, right? I should be like, okay, there's a certain expectation that people expect out of Christians. And they should, rather, because we're wearing this label. We're saying, hey, we walk in the ways of Christ. Christ is not out here telling ushers to lock doors, right? That's not happening. I get that the church needs money. That you have overhead costs, you have lights, gas, cleaning, janitorial services that are needed, right? So you can't just expect, how can I say this? I'm not saying it in the way I want to say it, right? I'm not saying it the way I want to say it. But you can't expect it not to have costs, right? You can't just sit here and be like, well, they should just do it for free. No, utilities are not free, right? Janitorial services are not free. I would even argue salvation isn't free, but that's a whole different discussion for a different day. So basically, there's a certain way that you're expected to walk, and you have to keep it, right? You have to, as a Christian, walk in that way, because that's what people are looking for. Like I said, I agree. It's with Christian hypocrisy. Yes, and that was very hypocritical, but what he did. But here's what I'm saying. This is what I've heard that's very upsetting to me. People are saying, oh, well, all the churches are like this. Common sense should tell you all the churches are not like this. There are not, I would say, 99% of churches, like a duly constituted church, is out here doing the real work of the church. They're feeding the sick, they're paying people's bills, they're helping, they're involved in their communities. To take these bad, and trust me, it's a bad example. I'm going to trust and believe I'm going to get to why he tripping like that. I'm telling you, I promise I am. But to say all the churches are doing, no, they're not. All churches are not telling the ushers, hey, lock the doors, until you pay up $20. No, that's not what the majority of us do. And my fear is, and it only to me seems to apply to Christianity, and it doesn't apply to any other religion. We take the bad apple examples. And like I said, I'm not for what he did. Don't get it twisted. Don't get what I'm saying wrong. Don't construe it like I'm saying, yeah, what he said was okay. No, I'm not saying it. You're taking the very few terrible examples and applying it to everybody. That's the problem that I have, is that you're taking that and making it true for everybody, and that's not the case. And the other problem that I have is that type of expectation, in terms of the way I view it, isn't applied to other religions. Nobody goes around and saying, well, that one rabbi did something bad, so all Jewish people are bad. You don't hear that. Now, yes, the expectation of decent Christ-like behavior should be expected, absolutely positively. But again, you cannot take the behavior of some knuckleheads and say, yep, that's it. They're all like that. I'm not like that. I know the church I go to isn't like that. I know plenty of ministers with smaller churches and large churches that are giving back to the community, that are doing due diligence and not holding people for ransom, essentially. The streets on this side of eternity aren't paved with gold, but the Bible says Jesus loves a cheerful giver, not a hostage. And again, I agree. I mean, we all know that nobody should be forced to give. And Marlon, I got to get to a point where he says that people up here should give 100 because it costs to sit up there. It does. Like, I grew up in church. I think you all can kind of figure that out. Marlon, I'm one of them ones that say all churches are not like that. And I definitely have stepped in a church in the past 20 years. Definitely, absolutely, positively. They're not all like that. And that's where I get agitated, because it's only applied to Christianity. It's not applied to every other religion. Nobody goes out here and say, the Nation of Islam, they're just out here. And I'm just using them as an example. Nobody says that, but these kicks and knocks at the church is irking me. It's irking me. And again, the church does have expenses. When you have a building, you have to maintain the building. You have to clean the building. You have to keep the lights on. You have to keep the temperature comfortable. People aren't going to come in and roaches are all over the place. They're just not. So when you have that, that's an expense. I did, and as many times I've watched a clip, and maybe I should watch the whole thing to get it in context. I don't know what the $40,000 was for. It could have been to help feed homeless people. It could have been to help pay for school uniforms for kids. It could have been to pay for rent for several people. Again, the telling the ushers to lock the doors and cause a fire hazard, got a problem with. But, oh, wait a minute. I got somebody here who's ready to argue with me.
Oh, I'm not here to argue. How you doing, Tracy? But, and I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out how to get in and everything, so I apologize. But is it okay if I back up just a hair?
When
Just
you
a
say
hair?
back up,
Oh, so one of the things you were saying while I was trying to get in, I was having trouble. Um, it's not just the Christian church. Let's just be real. That gets attacked like this because the Muslims' faith gets attacked all the time. Like the moment somebody does a terrorist act, they blame the entire faith,
they
right?
do that. I
So
agree with that.
and with the Jewish people, you're not allowed to criticize them, so that's why you don't usually see them get they don't usually get hit as hard in the social discourse because you get in trouble for that. But I didn't want to say that part. And there's the other thing you were just touching. Oh, I agree with you. This is not every church, and it's like you've heard me say before. The truth is good enough. You don't need to lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's enough things to criticize the Christian church about. There's
Yes.
enough things to criticize Christian believers and everything. There's enough out there to criticize. You don't have to create something, right? So,
Yes.
like, here, I've been to a holiness church, I've been to a Church of God in Christ, and I've been to what's the other one that does this? There's another one. I can't remember. I think it's Pentecostal, might be, where at some point, usually it's when there's been a visiting preacher, right? And then a pastor or whoever is up front, whatever minister is up front, will say, if you have $100, get in line, and you got $50
Yeah.
in line.
I mean, I've seen that,
Yeah,
but they never block the door. And I was going
yeah,
to get to that portion. Trust and believe, because I got some smoke for that bonfoolery foolishness he did.
yeah,
Trust and believe, because I ain't letting it go. But this first part, I had to get it out because when I hear, well, that's all the church does, I'm like, nah, what
yeah.
you
I agree
not
with you,
gonna
Tracy.
do? What you not
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah.
And that's
That's lazy, right? It's
right.
lazy. You just gonna blame everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute,
Like,
hold on a second. I don't mean to interrupt. Marlon, check your inbox on Facebook, because I can't email and be on here at the same time. Check your inbox on Facebook. But that's what you know what? I take this personal. I think everybody that watches my podcast knows I practice Christianity. I'm a disciple. It's what I believe. So when I hear that criticism, I'm like, oh, you can catch me outside. Yeah, that ain't what Jesus said. But I'm just saying, that's how I feel. It feels like I have to come to the defense of the entire faith, which that's okay. That's my job, right? But when I hear it, oh, that's the way of the church. No, it's you're taking 10 knuckleheads and trust and believe. I'm going to get to the fact that they some knuckleheads for doing this kind of foolishness and say, that's all of us. No, I don't think the church where you talking about your mother's church collected canned goods for the needy.
right.
I'm almost certain I don't go to the church that she goes to, and sometimes you go to on Easter, Christmas, and Mother's Day.
I was there today.
but I guarantee you, the pastor of that church ain't like, lock the doors. Oh, Marlon, you're blurry.
Yes, I was saying to email it to me so I can get to my desk because I can't get Facebook on my desktop. I can only get Facebook on my laptop.
I'm trying to send it to you now, but I don't.
Is gonna send it to you because I can't.
Yeah, it's just I had to go find your email.
Let me just say this quick. You was misinterpreting what I was saying to you. What I was saying to you is stop listening to the people that says all churches are like this when them same people ain't stepped in a church in the last 20 years. So you have no idea what the church is these past days. So you doing it is by you remembering. And by the way, you're remembering when you was like, what, 15, 16, 17? I've been in church all my life. Half my freaking family are pastors, and I ain't never got locked up in a church until I gave an offering. So please stop talking about all churches are like this. They ain't never locked the door once. They closed the door, and then they tried to intimidate us by saying, don't you dare leave while he's preaching. I bet you I will, because I got to use the bathroom.
That's decorum. That's decorum.
That's Jackie. No, you're not supposed to. Okay, see,
no, I'm sorry. I got to back up the church.
Hold on. This is taking it back old school when the three of us was on the same pot. We would just always talk. Look here. It's trifling. Y'all know my everybody in this audience who's watching me live knows when I say I grew up in church, I was going to church before I knew I existed.
Did you email me?
Yeah, I shot it out to you. It's under a forward, so you got to scroll down just a touch.
Sure.
I've been in church so long, I don't remember there was a point where I was ever out of church. So I know church culture, especially Black church culture. I know Black church culture. I know the way it works. I've seen people have that line and say you're gonna get $20 and you're gonna get 10. It's that's foolishness also.
That's a shakedown. That's a shakedown too.
That's literally a shakedown. Because
I haven't got the email. I will say this though, that I did not like until I grew up. Now, when I grew in it, it was whatever. I was used to it. The famous church, I mean, not the famous, but the important church to me, because I literally grew up in it since day one. I was born, baptized, the whole thing in that church. At the end of the year, when you did your tithes and offering, they used to give you the envelope. You put your name and everything on there and how much you're giving. At the end of the year, they used to give you a booklet tallying up all your offerings for the whole year.
Yeah, that's for tax purposes.
Yeah, that's for taxes.
That's for taxes.
Really?
Yes,
write them off.
That's exactly.
They're a 501c3.
Yes, they're a 501c3, so they're gonna. Yes, churches should be doing that because.
I used to do it for bragging rights. Look how much I gave. Look,
bro.
Well, see, your intention
fine, but
see now y'all can really make me start going Bible. I've already been to church once. I'll do because I know I'll do it twice. I don't care.
That's it fitness, bro.
I haven't got anything.
I sent it to fitness. That's not the right one.
Oh, hold on. Whoa.
Yeah, but that's
y'all keep talking. I got it. I'll take it.
You want me to remove you?
He'll probably drop.
Wait till I get to fitness. Okay. Yeah, I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, but Tracy, one second. So, tithes and first of all, I wasn't born into the church, right? My story is different than you and Marlon, right? So for me, I was about 12. And there was a family up the street, one of those typical witness stories. There's family up the street, and
see y'all in a second.
You got it, bro. It's nice. I was living on base. Nice little white family, and we were real cool. The families were real close, and they offered to take me to church with them. So I went to church with them, and I enjoyed it. So then I brought my parents to church, and now ever since then, my parents have been deep in the church. I was deep into the church from like age 12. I accepted Christ at 15-ish, I think. 15, I think I was. And then I was deep until I was like 22-ish or later. But so I came in later, right? I chose that
I chose too.
No, hear me out. It was chosen for you, and then you chose. I chose. And then I whatever the term is, where you kind of like.
Are you saying that because my father was my pastor?
I'm saying that because you said you were in church before you even knew you were in church.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So that's what I mean. So, because like one of the things one of my pastors used to say to us, this is back when I, was gung ho in the church, was I'm not using the right words, but he basically was saying, if you are a Christian because your parents are a Christian, or this is just what you've always known, and you've never challenged your faith, you've never considered another faith, then this is what was assigned to you. This isn't what you've chosen.
Yeah, that's a good
one day you will get to a point where you're going to have to make a choice.
Yeah, you will.
Right? That's like the story of Peter. One day you will have to actively choose this walk, right? And part of my frustration with the church is that I am such a deep believer. So what upset me, why I had to walk away from like all of y'all, was not Christianity itself. Christianity itself is just a collection of beliefs, right? Now there's a certain part of me No, I ain't gonna go there. But
yeah, thank you.
yeah, I ain't gonna go there. It's Sunday. I'll be nice. But it was the fact that I call it, you know the term, I take that unction very seriously.
Now
Right?
you're really going back to children's BTU on that one.
I'm just saying, when you decide that you are going to call yourself a minister, or you're going to take on a position of teaching other people, or you're going to be a shepherd of some sort, that's a certain, you have a high level of responsibility in my book. So
you're echoing. I don't mean to interrupt you, but somebody's echoing.
I don't know what chain. I think it must be Marlon, because he's the newest one in.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I can hear Marlon, but it's when you talk. But keep going.
No, but I take that seriously, because if you as an individual backslide, as they say, fall short, whatever the right term is, that's on you. But when you're a teacher, leader, minister, any of those things, people look to you, and you know they look to you. That's why you assume the position. So I hold you at a higher standard
for
your conduct and your behavior. But we don't. When we see the man of God or woman of God, whomever of God, slip, if we like them, we rally around them and say, well, they're still human and they're gonna fall short, and we just got to keep going. You know that's the truth. That's what happens. Unless they don't like you. If they don't like you, then they go they run you out. But that's a problem for me, because that one person impacts multiple people.
Right.
And the church is not actively criticizing and correcting their own. They're not.
Okay, so I'm gonna agree with you, because that was gonna be my other part. I wanted to address y'all really irking my nerves, not y'all. But when people, this is the whole church. No, it's not.
Can't take those people seriously.
No,
but you don't realize when I hear it again, I'm taking it personal. Like I'm taking it. It's like you're coming at me because I'm a part of the church.
Well, that's not healthy, Tracy.
I'm telling you where I'm coming
like
from.
When you attack Black people, I'm personally offended, but only so far.
No, because I'm telling you how I take it. Right? This is just how I take it, and I'm like, people, like I said before, they already looking for a reason. And this type of knucklehead
is the reason why you should not take it personally. They already
shouldn't, but I'm telling you I do. I'm not saying what I should or shouldn't do. I'm just telling you where I'm at. That's all I'm doing is I'm telling you where I'm at.
When people say stuff like that church is always like this, like Christianity is always like this, even on my show when we talk about Christianity, we're talking about a certain group of Christianity, not the whole religion.
But that's the way some of us.
Not you, Diaz, but
you see it. We know you.
I'm not. I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying that the Christianity is so fractured you can't put your fingers on it. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. One of my biggest gripes with Christianity, you touched on it, Tracy. You did earlier a second ago. When you meet a Muslim, you know you've met a Muslim. When you meet a Hindu person, you know, even if you're not quite sure that's what Hinduism is, you know you've met one. You meet a Jehovah's Witness, you pretty much know you met a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, you're gonna know a Jehovah's Witness.
You meet a Christian, meet a Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, whatever. You don't know what you just met.
Why come when people don't be going to church? The first denomination y'all want to throw out is Baptist.
Because we Black.
Because we Black.
I'm not gonna say evangelical. We know they got some stuff going on. Here's the
other part I was getting to, because here's the other half I want to get to. As Christians, now I'm talking to y'all out there who's of the faith. People look at us. We got to, in our minds, know that people are going to expect something out of me that they may not expect out of Cs. They're going to expect me not to cuss them out. I don't cuss, but we're going to just use that as an example because I know some Christians that will clean cuss you out.
Because you chose it.
You chose it. I'm not saying you didn't, but hear my point out. You need to know that people are looking at you. And the fact that he doubled down on it and didn't say, you know what, y'all, I screwed up. Because if he had said, you know what, I screwed up, I could have accepted. I've been like, oh, okay, that's cool. You made a mistake. You asked for forgiveness. You repented.
But he didn't.
He didn't. That's
no. I'm saying he didn't. He really did not mess up the way people are trying to make it out. The reason why he's not apologizing like that is because this is standard. The only thing he did was go a little overboard with the close the door, lock the doors thing. But those of us who are familiar with Christianity, or those of you who are Christians, you know when he said it, unless you are way out there, you knew that he was not being literal. You knew he was being figurative, because we close the doors to the church when serious church business is going on. So when you getting ready to do altar call, when the minister's about to preach, when they doing offering, when they doing what's the one with the human sacrifice?
There's no such thing as human sacrifice.
That's
you know what I'm talking about?
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
You drinking blood and eating
That's
flesh?
Communion.
So when they doing that,
that
right,
is a symbol. Now, see, now
you close the doors. You know what I'm saying? You close the doors. And you're not supposed to get up and walk around, Marlon.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, Thiz. The only problem is you name a litany of things that I can understand you saying the door is closed. Technically, the door is probably not even going to open until
you walk right out the door if you wanted to.
Get in, and you can walk. But offering is not one of them times where you tell somebody, okay, the doors are open, because how he was saying it was the doors were already open.
Yeah, he went overboard.
He went overboard. If you want to. Wait a minute. We need some money. Close them doors. That's abnormal. That's not what we.
That's not normal.
That's not normal, but it's normal adjacent.
It's normal. It's normal in this sense. We talked about this earlier, Thiz, where you said, they would ask the gazillion revivals I've been to in my entire life. It's just like I could literally say I've been to about I've been to hundreds of revivals. And sometimes they will say, we need 10 people to give 100. No, they always start at 1,000. Let me backtrack and not even lie. They will always start at 1,000.
I've only been to a couple services who did that, and I never came back.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I went back. I'm telling you what I saw. I'm
taking your word for everything you said. I've been to 2 revivals. I'm like, yeah.
Then they'll say, if 20 people give $20, I have never ever heard a preacher say, "Well, lock the doors." That's it.
I've never heard
that part. I'm like,
that was him being
about it. Do I have to watch the whole video? Because I never heard him say lock the doors. I heard him say close the doors.
I mean, he might have said close, and
he might have said close, but I think
everybody. I'm not.
And that's a big difference. You're right.
It may be later on in the video, but
I don't think he said it.
He kept saying close the doors. Close the doors. I'm not kidding. Close the doors. All you ain't gonna do nothing but go out and eat, which that's my problem. But what's your? But close the doors.
Instead of going to feed yourself, feed the church.
But I never heard him say lock the doors.
My part where I think I had the most problem, and I'm gonna make this point again. When you say you're a Christian, people expect you to walk Christ-like. You have to have some attribute of Jesus.
He got something. He got something.
No, let me finish my whole point, though. Again, if he had said, you know what, y'all, I messed up and I shouldn't have did this. I've been like, okay, look, y'all, stop with the parodies and don't do that because he's repented. He just said, no.
I don't think he should apologize. I don't think he should.
Well, because you are taking the human.
I'm saying common sense. When you
human mindset out of it. We've already talked about this. Nobody's going to apologize for doing wrong if they didn't think they did anything wrong.
Well, that's true too.
I don't think he truly did anything wrong. Was it tacky? Yes. But I'm saying people are taking him literal out of convenience. You know what I mean? Like the people who are in that church, I can almost guarantee you did not feel like, oh my goodness, the doors are locked and they're going to beat me up if I try to walk out. it was definitely a strong arm, but the churches do strong arms every day.
It was heard in the video, though. It was heard in the video when he kept saying, close the doors.
And there are individuals who say
I'm not joking.
Yes.
Close the doors.
And that's what I'm saying.
He said, look at his joke.
He was being extra. No, he was being extra, right? He could say he was tacky. You could say he overdid it. He was being hyperbolic, all those things. But those things in and of themselves are not a crime. It's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's something that needs to be corrected about this gentleman in this moment, his congregation will correct him. But as far as this dogpiling from people who don't even go to church, who don't even believe in it, or have different denominations that don't do these particular things, this is that herd mentality that we deal with right now, especially in social media. If one little thing can be construed as off-putting, people attack it, and they'll just keep going because it's fun to attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he shouldn't apologize. If he wants to apologize to your congregation.
Well, he wasn't at his congregation.
Huh?
He was not at his congregation. Because I recognize I've seen
he was a visiting pastor.
He was a visiting.
So there you go. Then let them correct that. But it's just like, it's like the Crips complaining about the Bloods didn't do their initiation ceremony properly.
Here's where I'm gonna disagree with you, and we're gonna move to Signalgate. Yeah, Signalgate. Next topic. The prosperity gospel. That's what y'all call it. Because Tracy has all types of problems with the prosperity. I just do. It irks my nerves. I don't like it. I don't think it's biblical. I think you twisting the words of the Bible. I don't like it. It irks my nerves. When he said it cost to sit up here, holy!
That's a true statement.
It does not.
It is a true statement.
That is not a true. How's that a true statement?
Because I know for a fact that they pay pastors to come.
How is a church structured as far as with the U.S. government? They got a 501c3, right?
Yes.
In order to be a 501c3, you have to first register as what? A corporation. That means you have to have certain bylaws. You got to take in revenue. You got expenses. That big old building that people sitting in. Right? Like you were saying. But payroll. Paying for your ministers, paying for your missionaries, paying for you don't necessarily pay your ushers, those are usually your volunteers. But you are paying for a lot of things to keep the church going. And what I think, I don't have any real basis for it, but a lot of these mega churches that have gotten really, really big, they are suffering some deep realities right now. They outgrew their revenue. Right? When times were good, they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, now you got more people online. People online do not tithe. They do not do offerings. Not like the people who were sitting in the pews.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, that's true.
And then the economy has been rough on an individual level for the last 20 years. So you're looking at people who they were doing great 2 years ago. And then this year they're like, wait, I need to slow down on my money. I got to be careful because things are crazy. So the church is taking in less money. So if he needs if the church needs roughly $40,000 a month to function, that's what you mean when you say it's not free to be up here, right? I'm not just standing up here to entertain you, right?
Yeah,
that's because of the structure you built.
Yeah, that's where it irritated me. And like I said, when I fall, and I'm just talking about me, somebody better tell me, Tracy, no, girl, you being way out of pocket. That is not what Jesus said. I don't care who it is. I may not like it. It may not.
You ain't gonna just take that, Tracy.
Feel good, but it's going to be good for me.
Perhaps it depends on.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me finish. I'm talking about when I fall. When I say something out of pocket, be like, "Now, Tracy, girl, stop. You being a little extra. You need to calm that down. You need to read this. You need to do that." That's fine. But what I don't like is I'm doubling down. That irks me. That's what irked me.
And let me piggyback on what Theus was saying. everything that Thea is saying is absolutely correct. I agree with absolutely everything that Thea said. That still doesn't make it right. Even when you tell the truth about certain things, you still have a human function to go, as bad as this sounds, because I can't find a better way of saying it. You still got to look at them and go, that's not my problem.
Whoa. If you're a member of the church,
I'm going to tell you why. There are certain moments during the pandemic and everything else where people started really just understanding their limits. They was giving their all. They was giving all the time they had. They was giving all the money they had. And the pandemic hit and the depression, all the money went dead, stopped going dead, everything else. And people started looking at these mega churches like what Thiz was saying and going, whoa. Well, do you have time to volunteer like you did last year? No. Do you have the money to give that you had last year? No. But the Lord said, the Lord knows how much money I got.
No, wait, whoa.
So, you sound like that old lady in church. All she gave was $1. But we got to move on to the because I got to address something that Rude Bagway said yesterday that I've really been thinking of, and I'm glad you guys are.
Tracy, I'm gonna go turn my fan up. Keep talking. I'm gonna listen.
Yeah. Dang, what's the name of that app? Oh,
talking about Signal.
Signal Gate, y'all. How stupid do these people think we are?
Very. And they're kind of right.
How in the entire world do you, as a group of people that has information on military secrets, say, you know what we gonna do? We gonna get in Signal and we gonna get an app.
Off the shelf, just a regular old download out of Google Store app.
And then the worst part, they use their real names. Common sense. Yeah, I'm gonna work this out so y'all can notice. Common sense. I think I'm like, because it's raining here, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay. Common sense would say, hey, we're gonna get a group chat. You should not somebody should have probably said, ooh, do we want to talk about military secrets on a group chat? Probably not. You're going to use your regular phone with your name attached to your probably credit card.
But Tracy, it's encrypted.
You didn't even have the common sense to go to Walmart and buy a track phone with cash out the ATM machine. Nope. Let me just put it, and then use your real name. Don't call yourself John Doe, Jim Doe, nothing. Just use your real name. Oh my gosh, this administration, I said it last week, they want to fail. There's no way they want to succeed.
They don't care. That's the thing.
The funny thing about it, and I want everybody to listen to me because this is what you're going to deal with for the next 4 years. They ain't got to be bright.
Apparently not.
They got to be smart. They do not have to be smart. They just have to be smarter than their supporters.
They don't even have to do that because their supporters already put them in. They had to be smarter than their supporters to get in. After that, nothing else matters. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? The only person who can fire any of these jokers is Trump. Trump didn't even know that Signal was the app. He thought Signal was a phone signal. So
but
he didn't even know the attack was happening.
They didn't even have the decency to say, you know, we not gonna put it on no credit cards. We're gonna go to the store, pay cash for a track phone.
You're making it seem like they want to cover it up. You got to understand. So just a little bit of pulling back some layers of the onion. This administration has told our security apparatus to cease any offensive actions towards Russia, right? So we do not try to incur into their systems or anything like that anymore. That's the administration rule. That means that the people who are trying to push in We just trying to play defense, and that's it at best. We also have a president who had the secret meetings with the head of this country of Russia, had secret meetings with the ambassador of Russia. He's got the head of what is Christy Nome or
Homeland Security.
All right, so one of them is Homeland Security, and the other one is like the DNI, right, or something like that.
Tulsi is DNI,
right?
Nolan is
Tulsi,
Homeland
that's
Security.
the one. Tulsi is so conflicted, it's not even funny. Okay, so these guys are not concerned with it, Tracy. They're not trying to cover anything up because there's nothing that can hurt them. You know, like the CIA can't hurt them because the CIA was on the call. The FBI can't hurt them because the FBI was on the call.
But the thing is, didn't nobody start the thing? Let's get a group chat.
They said, "Hey, at least they didn't use Messenger." You know what I'm saying? And like this is where we're at.
It is so funny to me because when you look at the messages, it wasn't saying much. So I'm like, I get that you're doing military talks, but you're like Trump 2.0. Did you read the bullet points?
Here's the other thing. Yeah, but here's the other things that came out about that though. Apparently, what's his name? The bald-headed guy, Stephen Miller or whatever his name is. He's like, I think Trump wants this to happen. You think the man is president of the United States? Yeah, he's president of the United States. Wouldn't you want to know that?
Trump didn't even know this was happening. Okay,
yeah.
Don't forget. Every time we look at these interviews, he had no idea. He just basically up front had told his team, "Yeah, we should fight the Houthis because they're messing with shipping and Israel," and that was it for him. After that, he checked out. After that, it became down to Vance and the rest of the flunkies. But I think we're still missing the thread when we focus on those pieces, because the real issue here is that there are secret channels that they can readily use. They chose to do this in a non-secret in an outside way. And the reason they did it is because the Freedom of Information Act. If they do it on the government systems, it gets captured and it must be released eventually. If you do it through this signal thing, it deletes in a week. After that, it's gone. There's no FOIA. There's no disclosure.
There's this thing though called screenshots.
But that screenshots only matter if you would invite the head of a publication into the chat.
Yes, which they did.
Or you burn one of your underlings and they later on snitch. But in the meantime, this is perfect for them because they can chat with Russian officials. They can chat with anybody they want to, honestly. And we would never, ever know. So the fact that this group chat already existed means that there were other group chats.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. And that information will never be known to us. And then you go to Congress and Congress is like, well, you need to tell us. Republicans don't care because they don't want to know. And the Democrats don't have the authority to make anything happen. So you can pull these people up there and you can make them talk to you and you get the gobbledygook that we got, right? I don't recall.
I was there, but you know anything would happen.
What phone was on? What's a phone? Oh, gosh.
And it's so funny that they even use that type of language. I don't recall. It reminds me of the Dave Chappelle skit when he just kept saying, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. I don't care. At the very least, do this. I would love to see this in a congressional hearing, just one time. Just one time. To ask a specific question to one of them, the ones who did something wrong. And them to just go, and just watch them get mad. And
Tulsi Gabbard did that.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard basically did that.
At one point, they asked her too many questions, and she was just like,
saying, and what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're not going to do anything. I'm literally having this congressional hearing on my lunch break. As soon as my lunch break over, I'm going back to the office and do more stuff. I don't care. Because
nobody can check them. Right? That whatever the Patel is now over.
Oh, you don't stroke his ego. Don't do that, Tobias.
But I'm saying all these things work together, y'all. And so it's like,
welcome, Tobias.
How you doing? But when you look at the people who have the ability to hold these people accountable, all of those are now held firmly by Trump's hand-picked associates.
And I think Ruth, by the way, is asking the question that I'm asking.
I do.
Yes, I have a problem with it.
I have a problem with all of it.
Now what? It's stop saying, do you have a problem with it? Yes, I have a problem with it. What can I do?
No, I think it's a fair question. I'm just saying that the time for that question was before this dude got elected.
Yes.
Right? And that question was posed to us. That question was posed to all of us, right? Because at that time we were talking about the Palestinians, and we knew that we were dealing with garbage with the Biden administration, and we were going to be dealing with flaming garbage with the Trump administration. And the country chose not to vote or vote in a way that flaming garbage is in here. So now we have the flaming garbage, and we do not have the ability to put the fire out. So the only thing we can do, if we're willing to do it, is, and this is my opinion, I know everybody ain't gonna ride with me on this, but you got to get more Democrats in the office, and you got to get more independents in the office, specifically those two groups. Democrats are worthless. They are weak. They're like sandbags in a flood. You're only using them to slow the water down, but they're still useful as far as like reducing the numbers of Republicans, right? Because for every Democrat, there's one less Republican. And then we need more independents, because you need some people to go in there that will push both sides, or probably just push on the Democrats, to be honest with you, because ain't much you can do with the cult. But now you can get people who are willing to buck the system. And to do that, we have to vote for them. To do that, all the people who sat out need to decide, okay, if I can't vote for a Democrat, what independent can I vote for?
Now, Theus, don't jump off the corner on this next comment, because we're going to just let it bounce.
He will. It ain't no easy.
Man, no.
Absolutely. You know what show I had. You know what show I had, but we going to just we're not going to comment. But yes, because I contend that if we keep on down this road.
Oh, I agree. This road leads nowhere good.
Like, where we going?
You remember mine? Both of them are taking us to the brick wall. But I'm just saying, if you don't have a governing strategy, if you don't have a way to pass legislation,
executive orders. That's what Trump is doing.
No. Executive
Trump
orders
is passing laws. Biden did it. Obama did it.
No. But here it is. This is the part you're conveniently overlooking, and I understand the argument, but people are conveniently overlooking this. In order for these executive orders to hold, you need the judiciary and you need Congress.
Yeah.
If you don't have Congress and or the judiciary, most importantly the judiciary, your executive orders mean nothing. So Biden went in there and he threw a bunch of executive orders. As long as it wasn't interfering with things that other people didn't have a problem with, they let those go through. But the moment he tried to help people with their student loan debt, court said,
call that help? I was shut up, Tracy. I'm gonna shut up. I said I was gonna shut up. I was gonna go down this road. I was like, you don't really call that help, but
for those who got their money forgiven, it helped a lot.
I'm sorry.
In fact, you even said it in one of our discussions. So it helps those people, and I'm not going to say that it's not going to help everybody, right? Because that's part of my frustration with when people give Trump credit for the criminal justice thing he did. Oh, you helped 2,000 people out of 100,000.
It was more like 18,000.
Whatever the number. It wasn't. It was at the federal level, it wasn't at the state level, or that state level more people are, right? So we can have those nuanced discussions, but you can't say it didn't help the people that it did help, right? So the executive order to forgive those student loans for people who were first responders and educators and government employees, that helped all of them until Trump came back and is undoing that right now.
Here's the thing before I move on to the next topic that I want to say, because y'all already know, if I even see a Democrat on the ballot, I'm like, no, it's a no-go for me.
Help me understand that one. At this stage, understand your principles. I want to know your rationale.
My rationale at this stage, what do they do? I look at what you've done and what you haven't done.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
What is your alternative?
I'll tell you. This is my alternative.
I actually agree with abandoning the Democratic Party.
I say leave both of these
should,
fools alone. This I
ain't in the GOP, no way. And people I rock with ain't in the GOP. And
well,
the people who are in the GOP, they ain't gonna listen to me.
Right. Here's what I'll say as a person that's only voted for Republicans twice. I've only voted for a Republican 2 times in my entire times of voting. When I see you playing in my face, eventually I'm gonna get tired of you playing in my face. This party plays in my face. I'm tired of it. So when when I get to the booth, literally when I went this last election, I voted for one office and I turned around.
Right.
Okay,
and what
let me ask you this question, Tracy. Let me ask you this question. I said this on my show, so I'm going to tell you right here in March 2025, we have nowhere near the election. Nowhere near the presidential election. Who do you have right now, third party, as a candidate for president of the United States 4 years from now, right now?
You have parties again.
Okay.
Okay.
You have the Green Party.
Those parties are.
Well, there's a lot of independent third party
candidates.
But here's the thing. But I get your point, Marlon. The Democratic Party is an apparatus.
Yes.
Right. So we know that they will turn out a candidate. All right. They're going
to. And it's going to be some corporate APAC money taking.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
No.
Tracy, hear me out. Because I don't like the Democrats either. I never have. And I told you that. But what I'm saying is they have a machine and it's going to turn out a slate of politicians at every level, from the county to the presidency. They're going to churn out these people. Right. And for the most part, we know the names that are most likely to float to the top of the presidential thing, unless something shakes up in the next year or two.
Yeah.
All right. Republicans, similarly, except for they don't have to do anything because they plan on holding power. Independents and third parties, the problem that continue to run into is who's up, right? They're quiet during all the offseason. And I know you've pointed out about the money, and the money is a valid point.
And I'm going to disagree with the fact that they're quiet because I'm saying they're not quiet. You just don't know about the work.
I look for Cornel West.
Hold on, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that they're quiet.
I said I look for it, and if I don't see it, how good is it?
That's why. Thank you, Theus. Thank you. That is always been my point.
If I'm looking for you and I can't find you,
that's because you don't want to. Here's what y'all want to do. Hear me out. Y'all want to vote for fill in the blank Democrat.
That's not my point.
Let me ask y'all these questions. Have you ever voted for a Republican for president? I already know the answer. The answer is no.
I almost did for what's his name?
Not almost.
No, it's true. Because my answer is going to be no. Right?
Okay.
And there was one election I didn't vote for either one of them. I didn't vote for Hillary and I didn't vote for Trump.
Right. Here's my thing about when people say, well, why you vote third party? Why are you so passionate about it? If you look at just the platform of third parties, not the candidate. Let's put the candidate.
Yeah, well, I love to go into that because we got problems with their platform. You and I talked about it.
And I'm not going to say the Green Party because I'm not a part of the Green Party anymore. The platform of the Justice for All Party. I literally can find nothing that I disagree. I'm like, wait.
Yes, I agree with you. Looks great on paper. Who's your messenger?
It's the people that support the party.
How good did they do in the last election?
So all the messengers.
Your messaging matters. And personally, I think this is an excellent time to divorce the Democratic Party and throw all the independents and the third parties and the moderate, all the people who are disaffected, all of us pick a party. I don't care which one. You want to do Justice for All, then pick that one. You want to do Green Party? Pick that one. Pick one. And then we all go there, right? And then we force them to give us a better platform. And now the money that we would normally give the Democrats go over there. And now you have your public funded party that you want so bad. And we can go out there with more force. But instead, we want to run 12 different third parties.
And that's where my disagreement is because we're so Americanized. When I look at countries,
we're in America.
Wait a minute, let me finish my point. I look at countries like Ireland, England. I'm looking at countries, they have literally 5,
Parliamentary
6,
systems, you
7,
mean?
8 different parties running. Those people
Parliamentary
have
system.
literally no problem picking who they want.
Parliamentary system.
I'm for choices, and I'm not going to be for one that limits choices. I'm saying let them all come in. If you want to form the barefoot party,
get your signatures. Y'all all come in, and then cry that you ain't got no money because your people are spread out too thin.
Yeah, I disagree with
I got $10 and nobody listening to me.
Tracy, all I'm saying is, and we've been preaching this for the longest time. I have no problem with a third party, but you answered my question. I said right here, right now, who is your leading candidate
and I'm saying
presidency of the United States?
I'm saying this is March 2025.
And I'm saying that you have problems.
Let me finish.
I didn't say that third parties don't have problems. I'm not stupid.
I'm saying you got to work harder when you're behind.
Let me finish. It's 2025. If you want to wait till 2026 and 2027 and 2028 and then talk about you don't have no money, you don't have a candidate, you don't have any of this, when you can start right here and right now building up not only a platform, but a person, and then wait years down the line to complain about we ain't got nobody and we're sick of the Democrats and we need to vote. That's your problem. You have plenty of time to build a platform. I don't care which third party you pick. Pick one and pick a candidate.
I have a great analogy.
No, but here's what I'm going to say, Marlon. Here's what I'm going to say. I can only speak for the Justice for All party, and I'm not even an official spokesperson of that, right? I'm not. I'm just a volunteer, and I'm trying to build a third party. Right. We're doing that stuff now. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean
so then advocate for them.
That's what I do every Saturday when I host.
But I'm asking you for information. I'm asking you
justiceforall.us.
That. That's why Hillary lost, and a lot of other people. You go online and look. I'm going to be a spokesperson for this thing, and I'm going to talk about why it's so good. Well, what's so good about it? Well, go look it up.
Why am I doing your homework?
Now, granted, I do need to go look it up, right?
Yes.
Now, granted, I have, and I've definitely looked into the Green Party. This is why I chose them as, in my view, the best one that's situated for a takeover, because they have the most ballot access. They're the closest to a liberal progressive kind of bend, and their platform, I don't have a lot of issues with it. So that's why I say it's a great place to start, right? But everybody wants to have their own pop-up boutique. Everybody want to be an entrepreneur with the political thing, right? Because West used to be green, then he was Democrat, then he was green, and now he's just for all. And then you had, who was it, Wayne? He had his thing, and then he created his own brand. Everybody wants their own brand. But the problem is, what's more important, the fight or your brand? Because, see, it takes time to build your brand. I need you in the fight. See, get where you can get the most people, and I'll run behind that because I don't follow people. I don't follow individuals. I like Cornel West because of his history. I do not like how he's presented himself in his political mean over the last, opportunism.
How did he present himself? Now,
because he comes across as an opportunist to me.
Yeah, we going
because if he was serious about his fight, like he was serious when he was doing 2006 through 2008, and he was a very strong voice pushing against power and pushing against Obama, and I think he should have been, and I'm glad he did it. But then he went silent, and then he comes out and he wants to run for president. Okay, cool. You want to run for president? What party are you in? I'm in the Green Party. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. They didn't want to listen to me, so now I'm going to go and start this party. Oh, okay. But we don't have ballot access. We need more ballot access. Oh, okay. And then I keep asking. I've asked you. Mainly, I've only asked you, I think, to be honest, because you're the only person I know who reps hard for Dr. West. But what's your governing strategy? You're going to go in there, right? We put you in there. You become the president, but we don't send nobody with you. How are you going to make this goofy, corrupt, disgusting Congress pass anything that you want? How you gonna do it? Palestine. What was the whole plan with Palestine? Ukraine. The whole plan with Ukraine was, well, we just gonna stop supporting this thing. Okay, cool. So then all the people who died when we pull back, what is your answer to that? I don't have one. No other politician gets to do that. No other politician gets to be like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Well, what's gonna happen when you do it? I don't know. Not my problem. So I'm personally saying third party. I know I pushed hard against you guys for the last couple of years because I still believe that y'all ain't ready. But I think now is your time to really get started now. Say this is the party, and we'll give you a candidate in 18 months. But right now, this is what we're doing. All of us start gathering on that one third party and make it bigger and stronger so that it can actually get into debates. It can get more money. It can do the things. But so long as I got to figure out which of the 8 third parties I got to support.
And that's the only thing that I was saying is
you ran Tracy off wrong. I ran Tracy off wrong. So I'm sorry.
You ran Tracy off. The only thing that I was saying was that it's getting to a point where it's getting so tiring when the third party says we don't know, nobody knows us, we don't have it, they don't have the information, we need the money and everything like that. And it's like,
yeah, guys, I disappeared. There's a thunderstorm coming over, and apparently I just got jumped out.
Oh, be safe. Yeah,
be careful. All I'm saying is this is the time and place to get all ducks in a row, not the year before the election. Because Tracy, you know me. I'm going to be honest with you. You know me because you know you still mad at me about safety vests. I'm sick and tired of people being put up for third-party candidates that nobody knows about.
But wait
a minute. And don't tell me, well, you're not looking out for him. I just met him like 2 minutes ago. And now you want me to do a whole biography about him? No. You had 4 years.
And you really have longer than that if you're serious.
But wait a minute. Here's the thing. How do you get on? Okay, but how do you get to know a can? How do you even get to know when the media is shutting you out? They won't let you to.
They're not.
So here, wait. Before I'm gonna phrase why I said they're not. Okay, Tracy, how often do you listen to MSNBC?
I don't never listen to them.
How often do you listen to Fox News?
Never.
How often do you listen to whatever that News One or whatever that thing is called,
MSNBC.
Or CNN? Right?
No, I don't.
We don't do it. We don't do it.
The
only time I watch MSNBC is because I'm on YouTube and it happened to be something somewhat attractive, and I hit the little clip. I ain't never gonna sit there and watch their channel. I think they're all garbage.
And look,
but that's what most people are watching.
But you're not trying to get those people. What you're trying to get are young people. You're trying to get working class people. You're trying to get progressives. You're trying to get liberals. You're trying to get people who are even socialists. You're trying to get that group of people. And those people listen to podcasts. Those people go on YouTube. Those people probably have a whole nother version that they go to that I don't even know about. That's where they at. So those things don't cost a lot of money. Those things you can do almost for free.
And you're missing a group, and Tracy, this will be an inspiration to you. And you're talking to the people who are just as sick and tired of the Democrats as you are.
Yes.
They want somebody else. Give them somebody else, but don't give them somebody who does an interview on their lunch break. They want somebody who's going to be here.
Leave that man alone.
I'll leave him alone.
3 years.
Seriously, give them somebody who's going to be here in 2025. I'm running. 2026, I'm still running.
You know what you need more than that?
I'm still running. 2028 comes around and I'm still running. You are going to wait until 2028 to go, here's our candidate. We ain't have no money. We don't have a platform.
But here's Marlon. Here's an important point. And I think this is a great distinction. All right. The third parties keep trying to wait until the last minute because, in my view, it's a money grab. Right? These people come in, they cash out.
What money we grabbing out for?
Huh?
Ain't nobody giving us money.
Yes, they are. If you're looking at it on an individual level, you come out pretty well.
I can tell you exactly what Dr. Westbrook, I can tell you to the penny. It ain't
that okay, whatever. You seen his tax returns? Okay. Now, but what I'm getting at is the way the game is being played, perhaps wrong. And I don't know how to get to it, but I think this could help. Let's say it's the Justice for All party. All right. Like, here we go. We're going to be running a dozen plus candidates for Congress in 2026. All right. That needs to be happening now. Right? I'm not saying it isn't, okay. Tracy. I'm not saying they're not doing anything. I'm saying you got to flood the airwaves. You got to get those who do support you that are in Congress, because you're going to have some people in there. You probably got a couple. I mean, might be the progressive caucus if y'all haven't alienated them too much. But you could work with those people. You need voices coming from all these places so that people start to hear these names outside of your little echo chamber, right? Because as long as it stays locked inside the clubhouse, it gets really hard to get the penetration that you're after. And one of the things that I really think gets in the way, and it gets in the way of, like me, I work more on an activist level, on an individual level, right? So I know it gets in my way. I don't talk to enough people. I don't practice my message enough, right? And I don't do this, but what I hear from you when you're talking about some of these things, we make too many excuses about the wrong things. If we aren't even relying on MSNBC, Fox, and CNN, then why are we using them as a foil as for why we're having a hard time? We don't want to use them anyway. No. We could very easily have local town halls. We could very easily have local debates. I think that would be great. Honestly, you get the Justice for All, and you get the Greens, and you get whatever the other one is. Those are the three major ones. Who's the third one?
There Tracy? Was already that debate that took place.
So keep doing it. Keep doing it. Just because something doesn't break through the first time doesn't matter.
No, we're not going to stop it. But what I'm saying, everything you're saying, I get what you're saying.
But all I hear is a complaint about CNN won't carry me and they won't invite me to the debate.
That's because most people are watching it. That's my.
But are those the people you want? Are those the people who are going to give you money? Those people are not going to give you money.
And the deal is, Tracy, I don't know why I'm harping on this, but I'm still going to harp on this. Let's put the third party candidate on the stage with the Democratic nomination, with the Republican nomination. It's still going to fall to who the heck is this third party candidate?
Which is what happened with the Warnock. Was it the Warnock?
Warnock disrespected that man. He completely.
He pretended like he wasn't even there.
I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that to him. Like, you just gonna ignore him. Like, he ain't even stand on that stage.
He spoke to the empty spot that Herschel was supposed to be in more than he spoke to.
He didn't say nothing to Chase Oliver. That's who you talking about, Chase Oliver. Who I've had interviews before.
But I'm just saying, fine. But people want to have the energy, and I think that you guys are onto the right thing. I'm just saying, like, I am that group that's just outside of you that is gettable, right? So if you're willing to hear what I'm saying, I'm telling you how you get to more people like me, and there's a lot of me that are gettable, and we're trying to tell you what we need from you to get got. Right. And what we need from you is more organization. What we need from you is not always running whoever that lady is that they always run for.
Jill Stein?
Yeah, that lady. I don't like her. So.
Oh, there you.
But I'm just saying.
I've never liked.
What
her. Did she personally do something?
She didn't nothing do it to me. It's the way she engages with politics. I don't like her. But what I'm saying is that that's what a lot of people say about her. So perhaps it's time to look at somebody else to groom them to be the face of your party, right? One of the things that I think the Democrats and Republicans do well, and the reason why is because they own the whole market. Yeah, and they've been doing it for so long. But there's not a person that runs these parties.
Nope.
Right?
AIPAC runs them.
Well, AIPAC does run both parties, yes. But AIPAC and a bunch of other people. But there's not like a person, though. Whereas if you talk about the Justice for All party, you're thinking West. If you're talking about the Green Party, you're thinking the lady you just said, Stein, right? So how do you get from when I say your party, I have to think of this person. To when I say your party, I think of your party, and your party is going to give me a person, right? And I think that's something.
Now here's the one we all tend to like. We all admire Butch Ware. Now, I know y'all don't know who Butch Ware is, so I'm going to tell you who Butch Ware is. Butch Ware was the vice president. That's why I'm telling you, Steves, don't look at me like that.
I'm listening.
He was the vice presidential candidate of Dr. Stein. And he did a lot of important outreach with the Black Muslim community. We all love Butch.
Wait a minute. Was his outreach to the Black Muslim community in line with Jill Stein's outreach to the Black Muslim community, which then helped because she said, vote for Trump, don't vote for this knucklehead?
I don't think she's... Y'all gonna have me defending somebody I didn't vote.
Google fire it. So the thing is, her advocacy and her position on it put us closer to exactly what we're dealing with right now. So I don't trust her judgment. And he was her vice presidential candidate. And if his advocacy was similar to hers, then I don't trust his judgment either. But that's just one aspect. That's his foreign policy. That doesn't mean that's his domestic policy and all those different things. So if he's running for governor and he's more progressive, because I'm not a progressive.
No, because
he's more progressive or left leaning, then yes, go be governor of California because we need California. Right.
Well, I pretty much figured they've given it to Harris. I mean,
they can't give it to her. That's the problem. If you're talking about governors and senators, those are national elections. So yes, they can flood the zone.
You mean Congress and senator? You said governor. Governor's not national state.
No. But I'm talking about popular vote. I'm talking about popular vote. So the governor is a popular vote. The state senator.
Oh yeah, governor and senator. Okay, yeah, right? You got it. Yeah,
so that's what I meant. So yes, these parties are going to flood the zone with money. And now individuals are going to really flood the zone with money because we just watched Elon, get himself elected as president, right? So that's going to be the issue. But we're also watching right now how people are so engaged, given the chaos we're dealing with, that your money isn't even mattering. You have people flipping Republican seats because that's how upset they are, right? So if it's a popular vote, the money matters, but it does not dictate. They cannot give Harris that election. They can try to, but they can't give it to her. So if we really want this Butch individual, then vote for him.
Yep. And we're going to move on to, not because I don't want to discuss this in further detail, because I know how I feel about the Democratic Party. I don't have to say how.
I just wish you disliked the Republicans nearly as much as you dislike the Democrats.
I don't, because the Republicans, to me, and we'll move on, they've always told me who they are. So when I think about a Republican politician, I know exactly what they stand for.
But as I've always said, whatever you're doing, and this is for all of us, whatever you're doing, whatever stances you're taking, whatever policies you support, how is it getting you closer to the outcome that you say you want? So if your actions are not moving you closer to the outcome you say you want, then I have to say you don't want the outcome you claim to want. So yes, the Republicans are horrid. We know that they're horrid. But if your actions strengthens the Republicans, then are you really after what you say you're after?
Yeah, we're going to have a different discussion on that, because that's saying, well, vote Democrat.
That's not what I'm saying. Because if you listen, all the stuff I've been saying is about how do you take the third party and make it stronger, and how do we abandon the Democratic Party, and how do we take this thing over, and how do we become more, substantial? And
no, I'm not saying you're saying it. I'm saying I can see that argument being made.
Yes, and you know what? In 3 years, 2-3 years, if the third party system is still dealing with the same thing it's dealing with right now, I will be the one saying, you vote for a Democrat. Because if you don't take the time when you need when you have it, if you don't take the time to put in the work, you can't get the result. So if we put in the work, then we can continue to push this thing. But if we don't put in the work, if we don't break through new barriers, if we don't get more groundswell, then you have to fall back to What gets me closer to what I want? Not what delivers it, because that's off the table. We didn't do what we needed to do. What gets me closer? Right? What keeps my trans child from being told that they shouldn't even exist? What keeps my gay child from having to hide who he or she loves for fear of their very life? What keeps my Latino neighbor, who is an American citizen, not have to show his papers when he's just driving to work? Right? That in 3 years, 3 years, if we haven't made any significant progress, that becomes a Democratic Party, because they're not going to be doing those types of things. So my point, Tracy, is I'm with you guys more now than ever before. I'm with you guys, but you got to stop making excuses and start pushing and help people who are on the fence, because a lot of us got the money. So help us see you guys as a viable option so we can take the money from the Democrats and shift it over here. But right now, that case isn't really being made very well.
And it's not going to help in the long run. This is to Tracy. This is to the third party. This is to everybody that's listening. Bashing the Democrats ain't going to get you to your goal. We know. We understand. Tracy, you have said it several times, and I agree with you. We know how you feel about the Democrats. We get it. And it still haven't changed a darn thing. It just doesn't. You want a third party candidate? Give us a third party candidate.
And don't be mad at us because we don't like your candidate. Listen to us while we say we don't like them.
We're telling you. I'm not no longer a Democrat. I know they're weak. But there are the same.
Well, at least you know it, because some of
good.
Some don't.
But I'm saying though, bashing the Democrats over and over and over again is getting you where? Because right at this point in time, it just seems like I'm just doing it to make myself feel better. Meanwhile, you want to put a third party candidate up there, and the clock is ticking to the point where you're telling the other communities, well, Tracy, you didn't give us a choice but to vote Democrat. Even though for 4 years, we told you we didn't want to.
And I'll do you one better, Marlon.
We're not going to vote for a Republican, so we got to worry about that.
Make Cornel West. I'm not saying you can't make a man do anything, but make Cornel West the official candidate for 2028 right now. And now he can go ahead and start campaigning right now. And so that gives him the benefit of the last 4 years or last 2 years, and then the next 3 years to continue to build on momentum that he had established, right? As opposed to largely pulling inside, which is what all of the groups have been doing. Like, no matter where you play, because this ain't just blaming your party. All of us have been doing it in our own respects. The Black community has sucked itself in. The Latinos have sucked themselves in, right? But if he wants to be, or if you want him to be that candidate for 2028, run now. And that's the same advice I give to Democrats. Run now. Because the problem with the Democrats, there was a lot of problems with Democrats, but one of the problems with the Democrats is they're not giving an alternative. After all these years, they still don't have a Project 2025. After all these years, they don't have a 2026. They don't have a 2028. They ain't got nothing. They just like, don't look at this guy.
I don't post with no. But guys,
when it comes to platforms that you talked about, sorry, Tracy, I promise. Last statement.
Yeah, I'm trying to move to this last topic because Rue, by the way, is here, and I want to make sure he knows that I'm addressing something that he said yesterday.
When it comes to platforms, and why I'm telling you to start now is your platform as we speak is going to be small. But when I say small is, yeah, you could do the town hall meetings, and yeah, you could go to youth centers and everything like that. But start off where the Black community had started off for eons, and that's in the churches. You can get a group of church members together and introduce yourself and tell them what your platform is and who your group is, and you can travel as far as you want to get your name out there. So you do not need CNN and NBC and Fox and everybody. They ain't gonna call you. I'm sorry. They ain't gonna call you.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying because people watch them.
Tracy,
that's all I was saying.
When your name do get out there,
my name ain't getting nowhere because I'm not running for anything.
Not you, Tracy. When that third party name get big enough, CNN and Fox will start looking. They
just want the money.
Yeah, they want the
Tracy,
money.
I'm looking at the JFAP website, and have you looked at it recently?
What's wrong with it?
I'm not saying nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But at the bottom of the page, they use a Kendrick Lamar statement. They not like us. I get it. It's catchy.
Did you go for justiceforall.us or the other one?
It's .org.
No.
And so hear me out. That's part of the confusion.
Yeah.
Because when you go looking for Justice for All Party,
that one comes
Wikipedia, then you get this. Right?
Yep.
And this says we're no longer affiliated with Cornel West. If you go to US, that's pointing you backwards to the campaign. Well, the campaign's over. So this is where people are going to land right here. And it says we are no longer affiliated with the staff of the Cornel West 2024 campaign.
Yeah, you Google search, and that's why I said justiceforall.us.
I get it, but do you hear what I'm saying, though?
I heard exactly what you're saying. I'm not saying that's not a point of criticism. I'm just saying that's why.
It's not even just criticism. I'm just saying you tell people to do their own research. This is where they're going to land. There's a huge communication and messaging problem. And I know it doesn't sound like that perhaps to your crew because you guys are in a bubble. You're already believers. It's like knowing your church community. You know your church community, right? For all the negatives anybody says about you, you know the good things that you're doing. You know the elders that you've paid their electric bills, and you know that your pastor works a full-time job and then comes in and does what he does on Sunday and still makes sick calls, right? You know those things. But if the messaging is like this, it doesn't help you.
I am so confused right now.
But you said you wanted to hit the other thing. I apologize.
Go ahead.
We do
I'm
this so
confused because all I got is justiceforall.org, which you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
She's saying that's not the good one.
That's not the good one. It's
the only thing that I see as US is Justice Service Community.
No. Just because apparently y'all don't watch my Justice is Here podcast. I give the website every time. Justiceforall.us. I'm giving it to you.
I get you. And that's great. And keep doing that. And make sure you, like, even on your videos, like, put it on the print so people can, see it. But like one of the comments earlier pointed us to JFAP. A person who's watching your show, they're not taking notes. So they're going to see JFAP pop up and they're going to come over here and they're going to look at JFAP. And they're not going to get the messages you need for them to get. Right? They're going to get, well, we don't know Cornel West, man. That was, we dated once,
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying, and I said, so apparently, we got two people that don't watch my Justice is Here podcast that I do every
It's not
Saturday.
about that. How many people are not watching your podcast, Tracy? But how many people do you need?
Millions.
Right? So you're a brand ambassador. Like it or not, officially paid or not, you are repping for this thing that you were passionate about building. And this is a problem, right? And you can only do so much, and you're doing what you're doing. But one of your criticisms to me was that I need to pay closer attention. And I told you I've been trying to follow Cornel West. I didn't even think about Justice for All Party in this respect. So I go here like you and your commenter mentioned, and I end up in this mess. And so now you have to try to unwind for me and say, well, I know I've cleared this up in the past. Well, that's cool. But now I've seen this, though.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
And I'm going to tell you this.
Because eventually we're going to move on to the last topic that I've been saying for the last 10 minutes that I've been wanting to talk about. But I'll let Marlon quickly, under 2 minutes, get his comment in. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say this as a lazy American in this country. If you don't grasp my attention immediately, I'm done.
That I will agree with. That you will not get any argument from me. That I will absolutely agree with. So I've been hitting all through this show, minus the power outage that I had that just happened, that apparently there is a big, huge protest where a lot of groups are getting together to protest the Trump administration.
Not us.
Not us.
Yes, and Rue, by the way, I was like, oh yeah. And Rue, by the way, who is not of African descent, said, well, Tracy.
Who?
Rue, by the way, he's in my comments.
Okay.
But I know him as Tim. Tim and I are both on, he's on the steering committee for Justice for All, and I come as an observer. Tim is not black. And Tim was like, black people are staying at home.
Damn straight. I'm sorry. I meant like the thing that holds back the wall.
No, you didn't. You did not.
DAM.
Yes, yeah.
I ask one thing on my platform. One little small little thing.
I was referencing the rising tide of political angst and holding it back.
I have several feelings about this. I see why black people are saying, as a whole, you know, I'm tired of this. But then the other part of me says, we got to make some noise.
No, we don't.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, but don't we?
No.
So I have a split approach to this. All right. So first thing I'm going to say is, for those who don't know me, my name is Theus. I am very pro-black, but I don't look at being pro-black as being anti-anybody else. Okay. I'm just firmly in favor of my community and helping my community improve its relative positioning amongst our peers so that we can compete better, live better, and do better. Right. So I'm going to put that out there. But I will go wherever my people are going. And the reason for that is because I believe wherever my people are going, even if it's in the wrong direction, I can help give good direction. Right. I believe that I can help think through things and work through things with my community, even if I feel like overall we're headed the wrong direction. This moment in time, right now, I feel that we are largely having an emotional response. Okay. And that is, you guys, we voted in lockstep. We showed up like we always do. We tried to avert this moment. It didn't work. So if you didn't listen to us then, you're not going to listen to us now. And you haven't been listening to us for the last 200 years. So we really got a lot of reason to believe you're not going to listen to us now. And when we show up for protests, when we show up, the media and the law enforcement community immediately turn it into a riot. It immediately becomes violent, even when we're nonviolent. So we are refusing as a class group to go out there and allow you to use us for the optics, because right now you're not going to point the water cannons and the smoke bombs and the riot police. They haven't been showing up at all these protests, but they always show up when we're there, no matter what we're doing. So we are saying, no, we ain't coming, because you're not going to use our bodies to benefit your movement. Because if it was about us, you would have been about us before now, and you simply weren't. Let's just be real. So that's one part. But the other part where I feel like this is, first of all, this April 5th thing, y'all can have that. I ain't messing with it. But I do think in this overall moment, though, it's a dangerous move that we're taking. In my view, it's actually short-sighted, because the troubles that are coming are only getting bigger. And we need to focus more on how do we strengthen our community economically, educationally, spiritually, and socially, and then develop partnerships with other groups who are doing similar work so that we can all fight back in an intelligent way through these next 4, 10, 20 years, because this isn't just going to go away. So that's why I'm saying I'm split.
Yeah, that's where I'm
but
at.
I definitely am not in favor of us showing up for none of this.
But do we stop protest? And that's where I was asking yesterday. Do we just stop protesting?
I mean, what is there to protest?
Here's the deal.
Other than education. Other than education, what is there
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
What will we do? What will we help? We are roughly 13% of the population. They did not listen to us before, not going to listen to us now.
Here's the deal. I just wanted to piggyback on what Diaz was saying. It's two sides of the same coin for the first time ever I've said that. One, I agree with Diaz. It was emotional. It's the equivalent of being hit in the stomach and you losing all your breath, and you're just now slowly just gaining your breath back. I advocate for not getting out there and protesting and everything, because for the first time, for a shorter time that we have, the Black community is last on the list to be attacked. There's a slew of groups before
we're being attacked right now.
You mean we
always been attacked?
You said not attacked. I'm like, no, we are attacked. We're always
we've been attacked all out. We've been attacked since we stepped off the boat.
Which is why we have the position we have. Yeah.
So while we have this time, and just like Brother Diaz said, get our ducks in a row, get our organizations together, get our support together, get all the support, the organizations and the guidance and everything that we need. So when it gets really, really bad, we have a lot more ammunition that we've had since 200-300 years. Now, here's the second thing why I said, because Tracy, when you said about the protest, one of the rules of the non-protest was Foxy said, "Oh, there's a protest April 5th. That ain't from us." I said, "That's fake. That ain't from us."
Check this out, Marlon.
Look, and she asked, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Because the first rule is we're not reporting anything that we're going to do."
Yeah, the revolution will not be televised. If you remember that phrase.
We're not going to tell you we're going to be here, marching here on the topic.
Let's get our permits.
So we're not going to do that anymore.
But I think about things, and maybe this is the way I'm thinking about it, because I think about something like the Million Man March.
Yes.
And I remember how effective that was.
Well, what was it effective in doing?
What?
To me, it was effective in telling the fathers, "Hey, y'all need to step y'all games up."
Okay.
And I'm looking at this as a non-Muslim. I'm not, and there was a lot of Christians that actually went to that too.
Yes, it was a Black movement.
Right?
Yes.
They were saying, "Hey, Black people, we need to take our place in the community." I'm all for that.
That's not what this is.
That's not what this is.
Even though they're stealing it, they are literally taking, as always, these so-called allies that you guys seem to love. Once again, yes, I have friends and I have partners, but I ain't got no allies. But once again, this April 5th thing that the Black community by and large is saying that we ain't messing with this. Why is the Million Man March being intoned as its template?
I just learned about the April 5th protest just
I'm not even
yesterday.
saying that, but they have been using this as a Million Man March type protest, right?
Because the Million Man March was effective in what its goals were.
But that's not what this march is about. No. The Million Man March, like you said, that was a message to Black America and showing force to America. But it was for Black America showing force to America. Right? And like you said, it was a call to action for manhood. Step up. Be the leaders you claim to be in your families, in your communities, in your churches. That's what it said to us. Now, what it said to the outer communities, right? Other communities was, some of them took it as a threat. Some of them took them as a nice little thing. Some of them was like, "Oh, look at this. It's so wonderful." Right? Cool. But this thing right now is supposed to be a protest against an overreaching, cruel administration. Don't call it a Million Man type march, because the Million Man March was about men. This is everyone. The Million Man March was about Black people. Black people are largely opting out. It's like, why is our movement, why are our efforts always co-opted for other people's movements? The civil rights movement, they used it for the women's suffrage. You know what I'm saying? Like, make your own thing.
I never heard that they had co-opted the million.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Look it up. You're literally just telling me this. But Biz, I answer your question. It's a million-man march type protest. That was a dog whistle. That is supposed to rev up emotions in the Black community to go, that's what this type of protest is going to be. Do you not want to be a part of that? And it wasn't really a protest.
It was more of a rally, like a call to
action. Whatever. But it was still a dog whistle to the Black community to say, don't you want to be part of history like the million-man march?
Because they're trying to intone the civil rights movement, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Martin Luther King's speech, the Million Man March. They're using all of our markers to try to coax us to feel like we have a place in this and trying to get us to come too. And also because it's already got established brand, it's already got established marketing, right? I don't like that. I'm offended by that. Make your own thing.
But here comes my next question though, because I believe in young. I'll get in them streets in a minute. I have no no
problem.
It's good.
Because you're not gonna just run. This administration, in my opinion, is just bent on just total
being a bully and
being a bully, misogynist and xenophobia, all the things that we've always said. As a Black woman, I have to say something, right? I have to make my voice heard. Not protesting, I don't know if that accomplishes it. That's where I'm kind of like, well.
I put it like this, Tracy. If you want to participate in the April 5th march, then I think you should. No matter who you are. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just saying.
I don't have no money to go to DC. But y'all can cash at me. Y'all can cash at me at TRACYMedia 74 because that's why I got that cash app up. But I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is, if Black folk want to go do the march, then go do the march. You don't owe it to me or anybody else to explain why you want to go do the march. That could be your form of protest, right? And then you might have other ones where you do more local protests and things like that. Everybody has a different way. Right. I encourage people to, if you're interested in much of the Black struggle, read the book on the Deacons for Defense. You really ain't got to read more than the first 2 chapters to get what I'm about to say to you. But one of the reasons this was an era of time, this is during the civil rights movement, and the Deacons for Defense, they were working in a way with CORE, Congress for Racial Equality, Congress, you know what I'm saying? But CORE, right? Voting rights initiative, right? Now, one of the reasons that Black men in that time were notoriously absent from civil rights marches and protests is because of the very thing that I hit on a moment ago. When we show up, just the very fact that we're there, it becomes violent. So in order to provide some level of protection to our women and our children, because look at these things, other than the ministers, like you look at the Edmund Pettus Bridge or you look at the bus boycotts and things like that, there weren't nearly as many men as there were women and children. When we're there, the police are more violent and they're more aggressive. So one way to protect our women and protect our children is for us not to be there. So I'm not going to do a protest because I don't have that level of patience. And in the current environment, I can't say the type of person that I would be, but just believe I'm that type of person. So it's better for people like me not to go to these things. It's better for people like me to say, I'm going to go work in the school and talk to my young men and help them understand, hey, how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself. I know you want to be an individual, but right now I need to keep you alive. I need to keep you safe. I need to keep you out these cages, right? So it may not be right. It may not be fair, but let me tell you what's going to be effective. See what I'm saying? That's my form of protest. I say, find your way.
And again, it's it's difficult for me. Where I think some of it's coming from is a lot of our non-Black friends, and I'm going to call them friends, who are protesting, don't necessarily push Black policy.
Because it's not their priority.
That's not that.
Nor should it be. Be honest with you.
You can't remember the episode we had years ago. I mean years, but I can kind of remember the title. Can an all-white panel have discussions about Black issues? And I said no.
You see, I say yes.
And I say yes too.
You said yes. I said no because you can discuss for me, I'm speaking for myself, I don't need you to discuss something that you're Googling. That's not the same thing as you lived it. That you, from the day you was born to the day you leave this earth, there are going to be certain people on this planet that's going to see a Black person. They're going to treat you as such. Mm-hmm. So analyzing what you found on Google and GPS chat and all this other articles, which is the only thing that you're going to get is research. And part of your research may be having discussions with the Black community, but you're still not experiencing it.
Oh, I see what you're coming from.
Talk about the issues with the Black community is from research compared to the Black community discussing Black issues because they do not want to feel that pain or anguish or hurt or health issues or poverty or any of those things ever again. So what can we do to stop all of this from happening? That's why I said, no, you can't.
Here's the reason I say yes, but I get what you're saying. So I look at the Black community as being my family, right? That's my household. And then though, say in this case, because almost everything in America is Black and white. So, and then in the neighborhood that I live in, where my house is located, there are white people. Okay. So there's going to be discussions about my family. The neighborhood has no business you have no business in it. Right. So no, white people cannot have that discussion. You not family. But I can't say that the neighborhood isn't also invested in how my family is. Right. If my family is running around spray painting stuff, or I got 8 cars in the driveway, or not getting the trash picked up, right, that affects the neighborhood. And the neighborhood is going to look at my house and they're going to have opinions and they're going to have thoughts. I don't see what I'm saying. So it's like, no, they can't discuss the Black experience per se, but they can discuss the Black experience as it relates to white people, or white people as it relates to the Black experience from their point of view. I think those discussions are extremely important, because it's the only way you're going to eventually have to where we can have mixed meetings, right? This is where my principle of working inside the community, build organizations within the community, because now you got the Black community and we're working on those issues. You got the Latino community, and I know it's much more broad than just saying the Latino community, but I'm just, for this example, you got the Latino community working on their things. You got the Haitian community working on their things, right? They're Black, but they're Haitian, right? It's a different thing there, right? Immigrant conversation, perhaps. You got the white people doing their thing. But then you can have representatives who come together and they discuss things. I mean, that's literally how the United Nations is structured. That's how really Congress is structured. I mean, that's the only way you're going to move anything forward. And this is why I sound somewhat hypocritical if you don't understand the entirety of what I am. I am saying that I am not interested in being party to those mixed communications and mixed discussions. I'm not interested, because I'm interested in doing the part that's in my house. Okay. But I will gladly support the representative that I send forth to interact with the other communities, because I think it's important.
But here, again, and this is, I don't know how this discussion went to talking about Marlon's show when this is my platform, but oh well, that's just the way it works.
I never even mentioned my show once. I just said on.
That's not mentioning it. But
it was years ago.
You did say it was years ago.
Don't matter. You was a veteran of the show, so get over it.
That's right. Was exactly.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Nothing. What
I don't like when mom and dad are fighting.
What was that statement?
Mom and dad. Look, you're only a few years younger than me, and you still refer to me as little sis. I'm like, but I'm older than you. But here's what I think.
You're my little sis.
Yes, but you're older than me. Theus is not older than me. Theus is younger than me. When Theus was 6, I was 12.
God is still working on me.
But here's my thing. If we just opt out, I'll tell you now, Tracy probably not going to opt out. If I hear we're going to have a pro-Palestinian protest, I'm going to be right there. But I
think that's funny. Not funny, haha, but just,
I'm going to be right there. But I'm also going to see people like,
got this where we at.
when we gonna protest about what's happening in Congo? That's me, right?
Where the black folks? Where are the black folks protesting what's happening in Congo? Exactly. Where are the black folks protesting what happened in Yemen?
This is exactly this. I'm so glad you said that, because that's why I think these type of protests, I think they're needed. Trust and belief. I think they're needed because this administration, somebody needs to just know.
But you need crossover appeal, Tracy.
Yes, we need to say, we can't just be, well, he gonna just do what he gonna do. No, I'm gonna say something. I think the protests are needed, but when I show up to the protest and when I'm in the protest, you just can't forget that Black people got issues, and
well, they kind of do.
They do, but I'm saying you should not. You should not expect us, because people are like, "Where's the Black community?"
That's why we're not showing up.
We're sitting out because you don't not center us. But it's like you forget that. It's like you want us
to be human sacrifices, and you want us to be seat fillers, and you want to use our legacy to your benefit for your messaging. But when we're in that room, you don't want to hear our issues. You don't honestly want to work on our issues. We're always told we're going to do it. We're just going to do it later. And later never seems to come. Why show up to the meeting?
I got an issue with you.
But then there's a case why you should too. So.
But not from.
But that's what I'm saying, because I'm sorry, Marlon, to cut off, but I'm just saying it's hard for me to say, hey guys, and my problem with the Green Party, it's my problem with the left in general. It's like, when I believe when Black people do well, everybody, whether you're white, Hispanic, Asian, you could be green, whatever color you are, you're going to do well when we do well. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily the case when white people do well, Black people. It don't work like that.
You're overlooking power dynamics and selfishness, and those are human situations, right? So, first of all, we all know white people is not a one thing, okay? But right now, y'all overwhelmingly working in a certain direction, okay? You got this 70-30 problem going on. Yep.
Exactly.
But within that, if you enjoy 95% of the benefit and somebody else has 5% of the benefit, you can clearly look at that and say, this is disproportionate. This is wrong. Even if you're part of the 95, you'll look at it and say, this isn't right. Okay. But in order to improve the situation of that 5%, especially when that 5% is less than 10% of the nation, or right around 10% of the nation, right? So it's a really small number compared to everybody else. But anyway, you got 95%. To bring that 5% up, so let's say we're going to take the 5% and we just want to take them to 25%. All right, 20-point increase. That means that 95 has to come down to 75. So what we're dealing with is we're asking for people to do something that is very contrary to human nature and is very contrary to their own individual best interest. Because the next logical question is, when I come down by 20%, I'm still way better off than this other group. But what 20% of my group am I sacrificing? And for what? They're still only at 25%.
Yeah,
and that's why we have this issue.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem that I see, especially with the left. You will hear people, and I wish Cousin Nelson was here, because I call him cousin because he says what I'm thinking. Sell out Sanders. When he ran his campaign, Bernie.
So now he's a sellout.
Yes, he
wow.
really sold out.
Wow, you guys, y'all turn on folks.
Yeah, we turn. I said I turned.
Woo,
I said I
turned,
and I explained why I turned.
Very Jimmy Dorish, but go ahead.
I explained why I turned in a whole previous episode. Woo. But he and I don't know why I didn't recognize this before. You know, he was talking about the working class, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, he's all about class stuff. Yeah.
Right. And completely forgetting about racial issues.
Yes.
That's what the left does. That irks my...
the left is a huge thing. That's part of our whole issue on the left. First of all, much of the left isn't even on the left. It's just left of the right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm talking about who I count as the left. I don't.
Okay, so who do you count as?
I don't count anybody that basically voted for Harris. To me, is not the left.
Okay, so who do you count as the left?
I would say somebody that voted Green Party, PSL, Justice for All. That's who I'm counting. I'm not.
Okay,
counting.
So that's like this little. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not counting people that say. Yeah, I'm not counting them because I just don't. But I'm counting this.
So within the outlier group,
I'm shrinking it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people say they're independent and they'll straight up go in and vote Democrat. You're not.
Well, that's oftentimes people who say they're independent and vote Democratic is because they're pragmatic voters. It doesn't mean that they actually agree with them. They're literally doing what I say that I do, right? Because my politics are black. My politics are blackity black. But I do vote pragmatically from the standpoint of what will cause the least harm. And that's why I'm not considered to be part of your definition of the true left, because I believe in harm reduction, whereas you guys believe in change. I agree with change. I believe in change too. I believe things that can be changed should be changed. We shouldn't be dealing with progress when change is available. Problem is, change ain't always available. So do I sacrifice?
And like I said, I don't know whether it just upsets me when I see Black people say, well, we're just not going to raise our voices. I'm like, no, this is the time to raise our voices.
We're raising our voices.
No.
We're not raising our voices in the political sphere.
You're so used to, when you hear the word raise our voices, you're used to
let every voice
just walking, no justice, no peace, and walking.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Up, don't shoot.
There's so many different ways to raise your voice. There's so many different ways to raise your voice.
Give me an example.
You right now, Tracy,
Black Panther Party,
raising your voice. You right now, all three of us sitting on here is raising our voice. We're not in the middle of the street. We're not carrying signs and screaming at the top of our lungs with a blowhorn. But there are people out there who are listening to us.
I think part of it, Tracy, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because, first of all, YouTube is like an echo chamber. Social media is like an echo chamber. You're not getting a real taste of real people. You're just getting like the artificial activists, and because the real activists are busy. They ain't out here like that. You know what I'm saying? But what is promulgated in the media, social media, and on YouTube is Black folks sit this one out. Right?
Yes.
So it sounds like do nothing. And I share your concern that for a lot of us, we really are not doing anything. But there's a whole nother, and most of those people who aren't doing anything weren't doing anything before. But you do have more people than before who are finding ways to work more locally. And that's not really going to be in your social media box, right? I think of it kind of like how with the abortion issue, there are a lot of people, you know, and Anna points this out to us very regularly. There are a lot of people who are working very hard to make sure that a young lady can get the care that she needs, that she can get the money that she needs, that she can get the transportation that she needs, that she, right? All these things are happening, but they're not going to come online and say, hey, come to my website to get the money. They're not going to go online and say, here's what we're doing. Here's when the flight takes off.
Yeah,
right?
I may be making the mistake that I accused
So a lot of the work, a lot of the work that you're looking for is not going to be public.
Just saying there's a protest April 5th. We're not going to broadcast what we're doing. That's
we advertised the Target, Walmart,
but that wasn't a political thing. It was and it wasn't. Like, for example, me, here's the thing with
I don't shop at Target, so you can't hurt me.
See, I do. Target's my spot, man. You know, because I refuse to shop at Walmart. Refuse. Like, you ain't gonna get me in a Walmart.
I get that, but dude, the last time I was at Target was like 2015.
And that's cool. But I'm trying not to individualize it. I'm just saying that in full disclosure, I have always been a Target shopper.
Like I don't shop at Amazon because of the way they treat their workers. It's like I just don't.
So
but
like I don't shop at Walmart.
That got Prime.
Right. I don't shop at Walmart because of how they treat their employees and how they destroy businesses at a local level. You can make that exact same argument though for Amazon, but I shop through Amazon, right? And then people say, well, we're boycotting Target. Okay. I didn't shop at Target during that time.
Target, Walmart.
Right. Well, they're doing this weird thing with it. But anyway, with Target, for example, I didn't shop at Target during that time out of solidarity with my people, even though I didn't agree with them. Put it that way. Because to me, a boycott is not just simply saying I'm not going to buy something. A boycott has demands. A boycott has terms. A boycott has rewards, right? Like you're going to Target and saying you got rid of DEI initiatives. We are one of your main shopping groups. We don't agree with that. We will not buy your items. We will not support your company until such time as you put the DEI programs back.
I do think that's one of their demands.
But it didn't come back. So
let me add this real quick for the
people.
It wasn't very organized either.
Yeah.
It was just
let me add this real quick when people say boycott these companies. I wholeheartedly agree with boycotting these companies. You shouldn't be treating your employees like trash. You shouldn't be underpaying them. You shouldn't be overworking them. I get it. But hear me out when I say this. Boycott these places if you can. I do not want to put anybody livelihood or household.
See, here's the thing.
Wait a minute, hold on. Listen to me. In some places, like you said, Walmart is a horrible place because they put a whole lot of mom and pop shops out of business.
And it's the only place to work now.
But now it's the only place there is. So to say boycott Walmart, they don't. That's not a choice, right?
Yeah, because in some communities, that's literally
like
in rural areas, that's like the only store.
Now, I agree with you.
Amazon.
You can boycott Amazon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can boycott Amazon. The reason you do Amazon is because of the convenience. And that's what Walmart offered in its time, right? And then Amazon is killing Walmart, right? But the thing about boycotts for me, and like I said, I supported it, not very passionately, but I supported it. Like you were saying, all right, boycott Walmart, and then now what? People don't have. First of all, Walmart is a global multinational company. There is absolutely nothing we can do by boycotting Walmart that will ever hurt Walmart unless you do it for a long time. Okay, so you're not going to close them down. But let's just say that Walmart decided to be a butt about it and to punish these communities, and they shut their locations down because they could do it, right? They make enough money that
they're shutting down locations now,
right? So they do that. Okay, that will hurt that local community significantly, right? That community was also already being preyed upon. So now you end up in that argument. We're right back into the argument that like Tracy or someone like Tracy would raise about the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. You got somebody who is already beating you with a stick And now you're saying, well, if we do this thing, yeah, they'll stop beating us with a stick, but now they're going to starve us. Right? So you're back to that lesser of two evils thing. There are costs and consequences, unfortunately. My issue is similar to with the Palestine thing. If you're not going to share in the consequences, it's super easy to take a moral stand. It's very easy to say boycott Target when your family doesn't rely on you generating a salary from Target.
I mean, that's like people boycotting Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's the same principle.
It's
always
exactly the same principle.
It's always the same.
And I'm like, I don't go Chick-fil-A because their price is too high, and their chicken
fair, and their food is subpar.
I mean, their food is not that great.
Yeah.
But not realizing.
Bus boycott. People lost jobs during the bus boycott.
Yeah.
But here's what we did at the bus boycott. Because everybody wants to bring up the bus boycott whenever they talk about a boycott. Because apparently we only got one greatest hit. The thing about the bus boycott is that we had infrastructure. Before they did the 1952 bus boycott, I think. Was it 52 or 55? But
55, I think.
Before they did the boycott, we had 30 years of surviving in desperate, dark, frustrating places. And then when they decided to do the bus boycott, they'd already done a couple of trial runs on it. And then they did this one. And what did they do? People drove. It wasn't just, we're not going to catch the bus. It was, we're not going to catch the bus. And I know because my grandmother was one of the drivers in the bus, in the Montgomery bus boycott. You took black folks, came and took you to work. They made sure you could get to where you're going.
There was planning that took place.
Right. There was ways to take care of people.
Now that I agree
with. These boycotts, it's just simply don't buy.
And there's here's the difference between then and now.
It's a whole different world.
Here's the difference between then and now. The bus boycott, you planned and then you executed. 2020, 2016, you execute.
But
then you play around it.
You're doing it backwards.
Yeah, there's no organization. Okay, that's the problem.
We're going to boycott Walmart. How we going to get grocery? How we going to get what?
Right, there's no plan to support local businesses. Encourage.
There are no local businesses to support.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I mean, even where I live at, there's a local grocery store that I have never been to.
And if everybody stopped, if all the black folks in your area stopped going to Walmart and they all went to that store would be out of business in a week.
Yeah, because they don't have the supply, they don't have the infrastructure to get that supply, right?
So but my thing is, but here's a good thing about it. Here's a good thing about it. Because Marlon, I share your critique, right? It's disorganized. And my view is mobilization. We have learned to rely on mobilization over organization for far too long.
Right.
And I keep pointing back to before the civil rights movement, because from Reconstruction to the civil rights movement, we were building things, right? NAACP, Urban League, SCLC, all these different things were being built. And when the civil rights movement came, it was time for them to step into the light and do what they had been preparing for, right? We have not been doing that effectively as a community for the last 30 years, 40 years. We just haven't been.
We try to use social media.
Right. So, and then who owns social media? They're playing games with that, right? So then you move into what's happening now, what Marlon was pointing out about the mobilization piece. But here's the good thing, I feel. The good thing about it is this is how you make your way to organization. Out of this dysfunction. Because see, I believe in Stokely Carmichael Kwame Ture's vision, where he was saying that the human spirit will always push towards freedom. Always. So if the human spirit will always push towards freedom, that means mobilization will always be there. What's missing is organization. So fine, let the people mobilize. Let the people do a haphazard Target boycott and a haphazard Walmart boycott and a haphazard Chick-fil-A boycott and a haphazard Taco Bell, right? Let them do those things. Because out of all of those things, there's little nuggets little groups,
seeds
that will coalesce and build organizations. And then one day they'll kill someone like a Malcolm X, and it will make someone like the Black Panther Party stand up. It's unfortunate that's what it takes, but I think it's all part of the process.
Yeah, I think if you look on their website about the Target protest, they do make demands. They did say the group that's organizing it.
But who? Because it's not Reverend Barber. He has one version. It's not the
I know. I'm talking about
people.
No, I'm talking about the group that I'm talking about the Jamal Bryant one. That's the one that I'm the most familiar with.
And that's cool. But my whole point is he's one part of it, and I think that's awesome. But everybody doesn't look at him as his because Pastor Jamal Bryant is here in Metro Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah.
He's one great part, and I think he's an amazing up and comer. But then you have Reverend Barber, who has his version, right? And you have all these different things happening. They're all doing these protests. They're all doing this boycott. And I think that's wonderful. It's speaking to the very thing we were just criticizing. But it is different things.
So you're talking about people partnering up.
I feel like we have stepped away from yearly organization. I'm just being realistic for this. Everybody, even if you're concentrating on the Black community, have different ways, different ideology on what they want in the Black community, and different ways of getting there. We need to get back to having all these organizations come together. Like I said, at least once.
They're not ready.
I don't think that could happen.
That's the problem that I have is
that's always been a problem, though. I mean, that's just a human nature.
That
doesn't have anything to do with Black or white or whatever. That's just
Yep.
That's just
the big
a
six
human.
did not get along.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
you said the big six, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a human nature problem. That's not just a problem.
And corruption will always come in.
Yeah, corruption. You got
the government is not going to sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, you see the government like, y'all let these people just get in here because y'all know I did a whole show about. And by the way, watch my interview with Steve Grumbine about modern monetary theory. One of the best interviews I've ever done. My eyes was just so open. Just plugging it. But the one thing he talked about that was so impactful, it's like when you have these movements, ego plays a huge part.
That's why I said what I said about the third parties.
And
everybody want their brand.
I still think there should be a bunch of third parties, but Thee says we all should work together, and maybe we should.
No, I'm saying in the moment. To get to where you're going, That's all. I'm saying on the path.
Yeah. But to it. Now I forgot the point that I was going to make.
Hold on. I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying that about the third party, why we not say the same thing about the Black organizations?
No, I am saying the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think me and Marlon
the distinction is this. Okay. Third parties is trying to go up against two established entities, Democrats and Republicans, right? And the game there is about money and access. So instead of having a whole bunch of little bitty third parties that have to fight amongst themselves and they still can't get into the space, for now, the game is the game, right? So you got to consolidate, in my view, make a really strong third party so it can crack the seal. And then people will now see that third parties is a viable option, and we can start pushing harder for a parliamentary system, right? That's that game. This other game with the Black organizations, we're one community among many communities, and all types of communities are within our communities, right? The disabled community, the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of overlaps and things like that. So in that case, we do need multiple organizations because we're not going up against other organizations, right? There's not a white organization that we're going up against, right?
Yeah, it is. We call it the U.S. government.
No, the U.S. government
No,
is about power, right? It's
no offense to my Caucasian audience.
No, but I'm saying it's just power. That's what America is. America establishes a status quo that it's willing to deal with, and then it protects it at all costs.
Yeah, and like I said, when you talk about why don't the Black people work, we work together.
I agree.
We work together.
Tracy and Theas, let me ask you a question real quick. This is completely off topic. Can y'all hear this?
No. I mean, I often hear people say, "Well, Black people don't work." Yes, we do. We do.
You know those people are, Tracy? They're people who and this isn't a criticism, y'all. Actually, I'm going to challenge each of you because this is how I was challenged, and it truly changed my life. Join an organization.
Exactly. Like do something. Like pick something. Work at a soup kitchen. Work at a soup kitchen.
You done mellowed over the.
Yeah, has he though?
Yeah. I haven't mellowed.
Because my question was gonna be with the Black community don't work together. Name a Black community. Name a Black organization.
Well, so
and by the way, before you even try to do the NAACP, come on.
See, that's where I love that because that's what everybody says. Everybody makes NAACP the whipping boy.
Yeah.
And
they weren't even founded by Black people.
Well, they were and they weren't. It was founded by Black people.
It was a combination. It was a combination.
The Jewish people brought the money, the Black people brought the people. But it was also W.E.B. Du Bois, so he's not even like my type of revolutionary, but I think he's an amazing thinker. I just don't agree with what he was thinking. NAACP, I just want to use that one because I used to say the same thing you just said, Marlon. Like, where are they? What do they do? Right? They just hang around. They show up every once in a while, do a quick press conference when something big happens, right? Somebody then got killed. Here come the NAACP, right? Actually, the NAACP works very hard, and they do a lot of important work in all of our local communities and at the national level. But the specialty of the NAACP is in the courts. It's in the legal system. And that's not very flashy. It's not very attractive. So that's why I was saying, for those of us, all of us out there, join an organization. It doesn't have to be the organization you ultimately land on. It's almost like going to church. There's a church everywhere. If you can't find a church, for some people, start one. But I'm just saying, join an organization and it will challenge you, right? It definitely challenged me because I was always criticizing NAACP. And my boy was like, hey, man, since we sit here talking all this noise, I heard there's a meeting going on in Atlanta. Why don't we go out there? I drove an hour away to go to this meeting. And I'm in this meeting and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what they do, right? And do I feel like they're all that effective? No. But the things that they do, they're feeding people, they're protesting local police abuses, they're doing the very things we all say that Black organizations should do. They're actually doing it. But we don't know about it because we don't follow them. Similar case to what Tracy was pointing out when we were talking about Dr. West and third parties. If you're not tuned in for it, if you're not looking for it, it's real easy not to know what they're doing. You're going to miss it
because you're not looking for it. You're not in.
And then I went from working with the Atlanta group to working in my local NAACP. And that's where they were working in the schools and working in the courts so around here. But it wasn't my type of activism. To me, it was way too slow.
So that's older people. So that's what you're
right. So, but it made me realize there are people working, and I can't just criticize wholesale when people are working.
And here's the one thing I want to get.
Let me say this PSA real quick, Thea, because I don't want you to leave on a sour note. Thea said, if you join a church and you don't like, you go to church, you don't like the church, so start your own church. Feel free to go do that. Just don't lock your people in when it's time for.
Got to pay them bills, Marlon.
Bills.
I'm just asking.
You know what?
One of your rules. Can it not be locks on the door?
The two people here know how much I think of them, how much they frustrate me, how much they get on my last working nerve. Because I basically tell them, I'm like, y'all get.
I don't care. So
yeah, no, I was about to say, and they really don't care.
I care.
I know.
But what I think I need to become better at, because we're at 2 hours. This show normally don't even go past 45 minutes. We're at 2 hours.
You still got anybody watching? I'm sorry.
Yes, I still got the same people watching.
No, I check from time to time. They're watching.
Oh, they watching?
Yeah,
I did. Because all I thought we was going to talk about was Signal Gate. I'm like,
this happens every time, Tracy.
Tracy,
I haven't been on the panel in so long. Wait a minute. I haven't been on you guys' panel in so long. It's like I forgot. I just forgot. You know, I'm so used to hosting Jess is here podcast, and I'm just asking questions. I'm asking questions because I feel like that's what I do well. I just ask questions and sit down and listen and learn. That's what I feel like I do well. I'm so not used to this that it's like, oh, I missed this.
I missed this.
I missed this.
Now, do I agree with everything they said? No.
Of course not.
But boy, I'm telling you what, I think I'm specifically talking about to my Justice is Here podcast listeners, because I know y'all always watch afterwards. Tune in, because the points that was brought up here, I'm going to be taking them to the next meeting, period. Because I think I've been saying some of the things that they're saying, not the way they said it, but express.
I'm just saying, on the political front.
No, I'm glad
people like
that we
are gettable. You just got to give us a reason to come.
Yeah,
and right now, y'all ain't got it.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad I had this conversation. I really am. And like I said, I'm so used to not being around you guys that I've kind of gotten comfortable not being around you guys, right? I'm just watching, like, and commenting. I'm not in a... No, I'm just saying, I'm like, I didn't realize how much I missed it until like right now. Right? I didn't realize that's what I was missing. Now, I'm not asking to come back. I've gotten comfortable doing my own thing.
Yep. And that's where we come in.
I know. And it's like, dang, I missed that. I missed that. They're going to push me. They're going to prod me. They're going to make me think. Because that's what I think I need to do. Like, my strength is, I think Marlon's strength is, Marlon can pull off a whole show by himself. No doubt about it. I have no doubts about it.
These cannot.
Ain't no way nobody want to sit here and watch me for an hour by myself. It don't.
They do it all the time, Tracy.
No, they don't.
I tune into a lot of your stuff.
You tune in.
I don't always have time, but when I do have time, I
think yesterday when we talk about comics, that's because I'm talking about something silly and that's what the point of the Saturday show is, to be silly and not serious. But that's me just being like relaxed. But when I'm talking about something serious, no, I tend to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. But when I'm interviewing somebody, I'm serious.
Oh, you're a great interviewer.
Like, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to know. I want to know this. I want to know this. I want to know this. That's my strength. There's no way I could pull off a serious show by myself for an hour. I would be like, what?
Okay, and to put you at ease, there's no way I could do an interview.
I think you could do an interview.
No, I would. I like panels. I can't.
Actually, I'm trying to get a panel together, but don't take this wrong way. I'm doing a Black voter panel in June.
You already told me I'm not allowed on those.
Yes, because you dominate the conversation. But you will take over the whole conversation. I was like, look, let somebody else talk.
Right. I have a big problem with that.
Is at least you knew about it.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to tell you, because I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, she didn't tell me nothing about that. So at least you
didn't know about my
No.
It was like year, I think.
I did one last year. I did Black Exodus last year. I do it every June. I've done the exact same.
In fact, Marlon, remember she literally told me and you that we were not invited.
I told y'all wasn't invited because I didn't want y'all dominating the conversation.
Okay,
now I remember. I want to have this conversation and get some words in. Like, I want to have a discussion and like be able to talk at a forum that I gathered together, right? Because you put these in the conversation, you might as well just sit back and be like, yep. Because that's all I'm gonna say. Because he has a lot of things to say. Like
that's what makes this so bad that he's so good. Like, if he was just rambling just to ramble, it would be real easy to go.
Yeah, but then the rambles make sense. You're like,
yes, that's my point.
I didn't say that.
And I can't stop him because it's like he's making sense. If he was just rambling, and then I remember when I was yelling at the clouds, it's like, okay, click. I can't listen to him no more. But everything that comes out of his mouth, but who knew that everything that was going to come out of his mouth is like 30 minutes?
Yeah, and I think that's it. We all have our different.
But this is the same guy who can't do the same thing by himself. Like, I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I've said again, I've missed it. I've been gone from like Radical Truth to Power for like how long? 6 months now,
at least.
And
it's just been
it's been 6 months.
I thought it was almost a year.
It's getting close. It's getting real close, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really missed this. I really missed this. Like, I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Yeah, I tried to retire Complex Mind, as a matter of fact, Tracy, in case you didn't know. And that lasted, 30 days?
30, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, wow. But I think...
And it was so funny, Tracy, because he like, I'm done with Complex Mind, Simple Man. I'm going to concentrate on my organization. And all I did was sit there and went,
First of all, I am working on my organization.
But then you came back and said, I can't do it. I have to come back. And what did I say, Theus? You're a black man with Trump in the office and you have a platform. I wasn't holding my breath. There was absolutely no way that you was going to sit this one out.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And try simply, I'm not inviting myself back to the show. I'm really not. But I'm just saying, dang on it, I miss it.
Well, there's time. If there's times you want to join us,
you know what? I'll make this deal. Not a deal. I'm not even gonna make it a promise.
No, because you won't play the Red House where black people and white people.
I like that. That was
never again. I'll make this sort of kind of deal. You know, I don't do any broadcast at the end of the last weekend of the month. This was a perfect storm, to be honest with you. Everything that I went this weekend to do, I've done. I honestly hope it don't rain tomorrow so I can go ahead and start my project. But I will make an effort, if you do not have an interview, of course, to come on at least one of your shows on one of my days off.
Oh, well, that'd be good. Thank you. But you know, Justice for Here is out because you want to be talking to it.
If I see an interview, I'm not showing up. If you're just sitting there talking, I'll jump on. No big deal.
But yeah, like I said, I'm like, I did not realize it. It just like hit me. Yeah. We started this show at 6 and it's 8:35.
2 hours and 34 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah. This is probably, besides my episode, like I said, I normally don't plug my own things because I think, I could have asked this question. I could have asked this question. But I'm really going to plug my interview with Steve Grumbine. That was probably, I would say, one of my top 2 interviews that I've ever done on modern monetary theory. I learned so much about our economy. I just sat there like, are you serious? And I know the look on my face was just like, what? It was just like it all hit me. So watch that video. And for my Justice is Here fam, y'all know y'all fam by now. I will be taping an interview tomorrow with Clifton West, who you know is the brother of Dr. Cornell West. We're going to actually tape the interview because we had technical difficulties. We had technical difficulties yesterday, but we're going to tape it, but it'll air the 19th because I have an interview the 5th, I have one the 12th, and I have one the 26th. So he'll fill it right in on the 19th, just so you all know that. Marlon, tell everybody where they can find you.
We will be back to Saturday Night Vibes Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Radical Truth to Power Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's the subject? No idea.
Theus.
Yeah, for the most part, you can catch me at Radical Truth to Power with Marlon. If you're interested in seeing some of the things we're working on, I encourage you to check out ourunitedcore.com. We're trying to focus mostly on education right now. So we have some content that'll be coming down the pipeline pretty soon. And that's about it.
And remember, friendly reminder, May the 2nd, I'm having a channel fundraiser because StreamYard done went up on their services and your girl is out here on Struggle Street. I am trying to raise $700 in one evening. I don't know what I'm going to do from 8 to 12, but I'm going to do something. I don't know yet. I may sing. I may have these two. I can sing. Badly.
Bring us two on. You have the whole 4 hours.
But I am trying to raise $700. You know, the first 600 goes towards StreamYard. The 100 remaining, if I can get to 700, will go towards bringing my website back, which I miss greatly. Remember that May the 2nd, 8 o'clock p.m. I'm hoping to go from 8 to maybe 12 if I don't have to do DoorDash because I signed up to be a DoorDash driver. That's how hard this economy is hitting me. Your girl is on Struggle Street. Y'all know I hate asking for help. I hate it. But I don't want that little duck in the little corner over there. I want it to stay just the way it is. So I got to do what I got to do. You can always find me at TRACYMedia 74. Join me Saturday for my the Saturday show. I think the topic is going to be best actor turned singer. Actor turned singer. Because I did stand-up comic turned actor, but I'm going to do best, well, not necessarily best.
That's a short list.
Yeah, because all I got is Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, me too. That's all
there's Bruce Willis, there's Don Johnson.
Bruce Willis is not no singer.
I didn't say the examples are going to be good. I said,
I guess we can go David Hasselhoff. He was a big deal in Germany.
You Cher, Diana Ross, Bette Midler.
Cher was a singer before she was an actress.
That's true. Cher sang first.
Who sang? Yeah, Cher definitely sang first before she became an actress.
Honey and Cher, yeah, that was
Barbara Streisand.
Was a singer before she was an actress.
Right. So we're gonna.
That's more people than I ever would have thought of.
I gotta say, the list is short if you go from actor to singer because it's like Jamie Foxx.
I think I'm gonna do singer to actor. I'm sorry, actor to singer. Yeah, because like you had some that did like both, like Jamie Foxx. He was more stand-up comic, and then he sang, and then he acted. He's like a chameleon. He can do anything, literally. But and I'll have a special tribute to Beyonce.
And I guess singer to actor, you if you do singer to actor, you gotta put Will Smith.
He's not.
You gotta get jiggy with it.
I already said
he was singing.
Rapper.
He was singing.
I already said he was a terrible rapper, so I wasn't going.
Singing is just poetry with background music.
Will Smith is a fantastic A+ tier 1 actor. I will never put him on a list of good rapper / singer. Never, ever, won't happen.
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah is the best. Probably one of the best. Her and Ice Cube.
Ice Cube really did do a great job with his transition. I was proud of him.
Yeah, he really did.
I'd give it more to Ice-T than Ice Cube.
But
LL Cool J, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, LL.
Oh, hands down. No, I'm done.
Yeah, I love
LL Cool J. I'm done. Yeah. One of the greatest rappers of all time. I ain't gonna say the best actor of all time, but a phenomenal.
If we're gonna just loosely base it, then yes, Will Smith would be on the list. But I was like, nah, I got to like actually think you have rap skills, and I don't really think he got rap skills like that.
What? He can beat Mike Tyson. Parents don't understand.
And then he used that same beat for the thing to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, because it was his song. It was literally his song.
Make up a new beat for his own show.
No, I can literally name 3 Will Smith raps. Parents just don't understand. Get jiggy with it. Summertime. That's it.
Beat Mike Tyson.
He had a song called "I Could Beat Mike Tyson."
Yes.
Yep.
Apparently he can.
Yep.
I did not know that. But yeah, I was like, no. But either I'll do that topic or I'll rank boy bands. One or the other.
I didn't know I knew as many as you guys just brought up now. But boy bands, I just don't know because I know we're about to close out, but like New Edition is horrible. Like I would put 112
I'm sorry,
above
what
New
did you
Edition.
just say?
New Edition
112 was better than New Edition.
Silk was better than
Jagged
New Edition.
Edge was better than New Edition.
None of them was better than New Edition. None of them.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
New Edition had like 2 songs, Candy Girl and
New Edition had
New Kids on the Block was better than New Edition.
New Edition had more albums than Jagged Edge.
Name 5 songs by New Edition.
Boys on the Block.
I cannot.
Just putting out albums. Flooding the Zone with Garbage is not the same
thing. You know they were fake Jackson 5. They were fake Jackson 5. They were fake Jackson 5.
They were the Great Value Jackson 5.
No, they weren't even Great Value Jackson 5. They
are the Walmart of the Jackson 5, but they're still better than Jagged Edge.
They're not even better than Silk. They're not even better than Boys to Men. Like, I love Boys to Men. They're not better than Boys to Men.
I think NSYNC is better than New Edition.
Oh my
gosh, nah, I ain't gonna say that.
In friendships.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just antagonizing you. I'm just antagonizing you.
So I don't know. Or I'll rank cereals. I haven't really decided on what that Saturday topic will be.
Milli Vanilli.
Shut up.
Now you just see. Now see, we're not gonna even go there. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. But
Kids Incorporated.
What is that?
You don't know about Kids Incorporated?
Kids
Incorporated. K-I-D-S. Kids Incorporated. Oh my goodness!
They were the answer to the Disney.
They did they would take like popular songs.
Sesame Street.
No, they were kids. No. They were like a kids bop group, and they would take like popular songs and then make them okay for kids to sing.
And then Kids Bop came along 20 years later and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make this make this major."
So a group of kids who came together and steal somebody else's song to make it.
Like New Edition did to the Jackson 5.
Yeah, New Edition literally did that to the Jackson 5, or tried to. They weren't successful.
Name a New Edition song that was from the Jackson 5.
Candy Girl.
It's a great value.
Candy Girl is not from the Jackson 5.
That beat is exactly ABC. Don't sit here and lie. Yes, it is. That beat is ABC. Take out their voices and sing ABC. And
hey, Chris Cross is better than New Edition.
No, Chris Rock didn't have but one.
No, Chris Cross.
Please close this show out, please.
Wiggity whack.
Yeah, I can't believe you did not hear of Kids Incorporated, the new Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh my God! I'm asking Tracy to close the show, and that's what I want to do. If I keep talking, this should be trouble. I'm trying to close the show.
That's because y'all not me. See, only I can bring on the people that I bring on. I'm the prize. Remember that. And y'all know I'm sitting here joking. But I'll make up my mind probably Wednesday or Thursday what the Saturday topic will be. Y'all know I keep it light. And I may even rank fast food. I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
That one I can rock with. I know some fast food.
I'll do that.
I shouldn't know fast food. My doctor just got done fussing at me, but I know some fast food.
And I haven't, well, I'm not going to get into, I haven't ate fast food in so long.
Had fast food for dinner, so.
But remember to subscribe to this channel. I don't know why I don't have 10,000 subscribers. I just have 358. If I get to 360, that make me feel so much better about my little self. But I'm going to keep plugging and keep plugging and keep plugging. Subscribe. Follow me at Blue Sky. It's like Twitter, but minus the racism. At Hi, it's me, Tracy. Remember to comment on this video, share it. I will see you all Saturday. Have a great evening. Thank you to Theus. Thank you to Marlon. Thank you everybody that stopped commenting a little while ago but are still watching. Have a great one. And remember, we can do better. We can do way better than what's going on. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
And I'm doing my outro because I love my outro. So I'm going to take everybody out down and do the outro.